Peter Molyneux. That's a name I haven't heard.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the WAN Show. We have a great show lined up for you guys this week because people weren't in office much this week, so Luke and I will be making up a lot of things as we go.
Yeah!
That's right, the RAM shortage is in full swing, and there's been even further negative developments.
No.
That's right, it's gotten worse. I'm serious.
Over Christmas?
Yes.
How could they?
It got worse. There's actually system integrators that have come up with the innovation of selling computers without RAM. Bring your own RAM PCs. That is end times shit right there.
I will say...
End times. No, we're not talking about it yet.
Yeah, fair.
Also, we're going to be talking about how Spotify managed to be entirely scraped. That's right, you can download the entirety of Spotify if, of course, you are a filthy pirate, which, no judgment, you might be.
Speaking of scraping, Google sues another company for scraping Google in an act that is very interesting.
Okay, thank you. That does sound interesting.
We'll see. Also, Valve continues the cheapest Steam Deck.
Did you say continues or discontinues?
I might have said continues. I meant discontinues.
Right. Nice.
A bit of important clarity there.
Discontinued.
Yes. They continued to discontinue. Whoa!
We now are WAN Show sweaters, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancients, Luke and Linus, fa la 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 la.
The show is brought to you by, oh crap, my brain does not turn on this early in the morning. And it's brought to you by Squarespace, Vessi, AMD, and UGREEN, along with our chair partner, Secret Lab, our Dell partner, laptop partner, Dell, and of course, our wrap partner, dbrand.
Our dbrand partner, Wrap.
Listen. Yo, dbrand.
Did we continue having our Wrap partner?
dbrand, protect your laptop. Don't let it be a crap top.
Oh my god.
Watch me go flip flap top.
Oh, yeah.
Flap top?
Yeah, but you just rhymed top with top. You did laptop and flap top.
I've heard far more egregious non-rhymes in actual professional music, sir.
Fair enough. It has happened, I guess.
Yo.
No.
Okay, sure. Let's go straight into yo ho ho. Spotify has been scraped and is being loaded on torrents. Anna's archive scraped and downloaded 256 million rows of metadata. Actually, wait, no, I lied. I have something more important to talk about first, and that is that these are out now, and you have a very, very limited amount of time to get them for 20% off, courtesy of, God! Courtesy of YouTube. The prismagic screwdrivers are here. They're out. Non-infringing purple, non-infringing teal, non-infringing orange, and legally distinct gray. They're all here. Delicious. We're calling them plasma purple, molten orange, cryo teal, and carbon black. Fun, nostalgic, Y2K clear tech colors. It's the Prismagic series of screwdrivers, and we are teaming up with YouTube Shop to offer 20% off from December 26th to the 30th. 20% off. And this is not the kind of thing that's just like, LTT will just sell it for 20% off. No, we're teaming up with YouTube Shop for the 20% off discount. It is only eligible during this period. So go to YouTube, click on the video, every LTT store item that didn't happen. Dan is going to link that because I believe it's actually unlisted right now. But once WAN Show goes live, that video will go up. Add the prismagic screwdriver through YouTube Shopping. That's all you have to do. The discount applies automatically, but it is only for 5 days. Get it while you can. We'll talk about other LTT store stuff later, but that is the most important one.
One quick sec while we talk about YouTube Shopping. Adding it with YouTube Shopping, does that mean grabbing it down here? How do they do that? Like if I'm on the website, I see this banner. So view video on YouTube, add product in the cart through YouTube Shopping, discount is automatically applied. I click view on YouTube.
You've got to be kidding me. Hold on. Sammy says we're having issues right now trying to resolve.
Oh. Hey everyone, we're having some issues with the YouTube Shopping promo. We're working on it as fast as we can.
What?
Sorry, I just I tried to go through the flow and was just like,
Yeah. Cool.
No work.
Anna's archive has scraped and downloaded 256 million rows of metadata and 86 million audio files from Spotify, totaling around 300 terabytes of data. Anna's archive typically aggregates print media links for books and papers and provides searchable results in its mission of preserving humanity's knowledge and culture. Anna's archive has been blocked in many countries and has had hundreds of millions of URL takedown requests filed with Google. The 86 million audio tracks, that's me, are composed of 160 kilobit per second quality for popular songs, and it drops down to 75 kilobits per second for less listened tracks. I am muted now. Good.
These tracks represent 99.6% of listens on Spotify.
That's crazy.
Wow.
They state, this Spotify scrape is our humble attempt to start such a preservation archive for music. Of course, Spotify doesn't have all the music in the world, but it's a great start. They will be releasing the data on their torrents page in different stages with the metadata already released. Then the music files will be dropped in order of popularity, followed by additional file metadata and album art. They also state on their blog, for now, this is a torrents-only archive aimed at preservation, but if there is enough interest, we could add downloading of individual files to Anna's archive. Please let us know if you would like this. Spotify later responded saying they have identified and disabled the accounts that were scraping the data. They state, since day one, we have stood with the artist community against piracy, and we are actively working with our industry partners to protect creators and defend their rights. All right, so this seems... You know what? Let's have the conversation we were having pre-show.
Oh boy.
Luke has a theory that I think is an interesting theory, and let's not get too deep into the granularity necessarily of it.
Okay.
But Luke basically presented that he wasn't sure that people would be as yo-ho-ho about this.
And I don't think they have been. I would put that out there.
As they necessarily have been about other things. And I just want to do like kind of a vibe check with the community. Basically, I'll lay out sort of the bones of Luke's theory, and then we can shiver me them timbers, bury them 6 feet under, or we can keep talking about it. But basically what he said was like, there seems to be a
sliding scale of acceptance.
Like a pecking order of what's very okay to pirate versus what's not very okay to pirate. TV shows seem to be very okay to pirate among sort of like, the internet community.
Sure.
Books seem to be
surprisingly okay.
Thoughtlessly
no one cares.
Pirated with no cares given. Websites with paywalls seem to get treated as just like that was just an obstacle that was in the way of my God-given right to view the website. So they seem to be like on the highest level of acceptance for that. But then audio over, and this is a funny thing because in the early torrenting days, when we called it Napster,
audio was like most of it.
Audio
Music was most of it.
Yeah, and that was mostly because just the internet wasn't really fast enough to meaningfully pirate movies and TV shows. And also streaming sites didn't really exist. Encoding technology wasn't as awesome. Like you couldn't get great quality at an amount of bandwidth that was reasonable for you to actually download. Like, it just, video media just wasn't really feasible at that time. But like, what are your guys' take on this? Oh, right. So where I was going with that was, but audio ever since, I mean, realistically, ever since the all-you-can-eat subscription model came to music, I would say that music piracy, while maybe it's not deemed more acceptable than before, it's certainly fallen out of vogue.
Yeah. And I will say that to counter my theory being more correct, I suspect one of the reasons why there hasn't been as big of a explosion about this and as archived music thing as maybe there could have been is because a lot of people are subscribed to something, YouTube Premium, which gives them YouTube Music, or Spotify, or I don't know, I'm assuming there's an Apple thing, or Tidal, or whatever. So they already have a subscription service that has practically everything, so they just don't really care that this archive is out there as much.
Lion Cat also brings up trying to buy TV shows and movies is really hard in digital formats that I don't have restrictions on, whereas buying music with 0 DRM is easy and fairly cheap. So that sort of...
Is it?
I believe so. I mean, I have MP3s that I bought on iTunes like 15 years ago that I could totally just copy.
Is that still a thing? Because that's the only way I don't know. I know of a couple artists that I've wanted to directly support, so I've literally just bought their thing. And I don't even know if it ever showed up. It was never the point.
Right.
But in a lot of cases, if you're not an iTunes person, Bandcamp, is that? They still exist? They do.
Surav has an interesting take here, and to be clear, I'm not backing any of these comments from Floatplane chat that I'm reading. I'm just kind of reading them out because they're different from each other. Surav says AI companies can scrape everything in existence. I accept that everything is okay to pirate until AI companies with pirated data are gone after, essentially. That's interesting. Willing Spy says, if I cross the line, I'm going to cross the line. I won't have any reservations. So, okay. That's interesting.
It doesn't feel like Bandcamp is truly a solution in my view. I'm looking up a few different things.
Dan Vibes in Floatplane chat, not to be confused with producer Dan, says, I'm a DJ. I am also subscribed to official DJ libraries, but for personal use, I use certain YouTube downloaders. So Dan Vibes draws the line between commercial use and personal use. That's an interesting line.
That is, I think it's a semi-common line.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Savez, I have no problem paying a certain amount of money for a single movie or TV show, but all of them want subscriptions. That drives me crazy. I watch one movie a month. Stone Monarch says, I only pirate music because even if I pay for it, it gets removed. I mean, I think that's a bit of a rationalization, Stone Monarch. There's a lot of music that doesn't get removed from subscription services. I don't think there's been a mass removing event. There certainly have been things that have been removed, and that certainly is a major downer.
I am actively trying to buy a digital version of a particular album, and I am not succeeding.
Seriously, a Blink 182 album?
I tried to make it a low-hanging fruit.
That can't be that hard.
A digital version? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be the easiest thing ever. Is this physical or digital? Audio CD.
Nice. Solid. Literally solid.
It's solid. The one on their actual store is an LP. I looked up Blink-182 on Bandcamp.
Right. And
they only have one album, and it's Buddha, which is I don't think most people know that that album exists. This is not the easiest thing ever. There's a website where I can find listings for it in CD, vinyl, and cassette forms, but I can't find a digital version. People are saying a couple random websites. I'll try this one. If this website is legit, I'd really hope that it would come up in a search. This is music streaming.
Yeah, okay.
Download store? Okay, I'll check.
So is the issue a service issue again? Oh, wow. Floatplane chat is super active right now about this. Definitely a lot of opinions. Ben34 says, I feel a lot less guilty pirating something if I support the person actively on social media. I feel this is fine. What do you think?
What does that mean?
Well, it depends what you mean by supporting. If like you press thumbs up once in a while on one of their tweets, I would say that
that does not count.
Well, listen, my whole thing with piracy, right, is I've always said,
draw your own line.
Here's
That's
the
fair.
impact. You're going to draw your own line. What I can say is that the amount of money they would have made from you not pirating their stuff is substantially, maybe even infinitely higher than what they're going to make from you pressing thumbs up once in a while. So, if you're trying to find like a monetary support rationale, then that's definitely not equivalent. However, if you're drawing the line some other way, then that's your line to draw. But I would say they're not the same thing. Minor Skills says, half the movies and shows I want to watch are not available anymore at all, not in my country, etc. That's a major one, is like the whole regional licensing
that's massive.
Locks thing.
I think that's a huge driver for piracy. There's a lot of... This is one of the reasons why I basically refuse to subscribe to any of those services, is somewhat in line with the person who said, I might subscribe for a certain thing of music and then it's gone. That's much more real, in my opinion, on the movies and TV show side of things.
Yeah.
Where you subscribe to a service and then, I don't know, some of the shows that you might have wanted might just disappear. That's happened many times with things like Netflix.
Clapped K24 Accord says, I'll gladly buy a concert shirt when I'm seeing artists perform live. If you aren't good enough for me to see live, I don't feel the need to directly support you. And then goes on to completely obliterate their own argument, saying, only exception is the Tragically Hip and other bands where members have died and disbanded. Right, exactly. Or members where live performances are not practical because... they do a lot of post-processing on their music, and that, is not conducive to performing live, or maybe they have a health condition that makes it so that they can't perform live, or, there's I think that, again, not taking a stance on your stance, but you took a stance on your stance. You said, this is my line. By the way, here's a giant hole in the line that I drew. And that was on you. Who did that? Not me. Music's good on shuffle. Videos are more... Yeah, wow. This is really, really interesting. Okay, The Outlier says, I pirate music videos, and movies. However, I have a Spotify account for actually listening to music and an offline backup in case it gets taken down.
See, like on a personal level, I kind of like that.
I buy Blu-rays, vinyls of content I love, and I go and see many live shows and go to the theaters regularly. So you are the outlier, aren't you? That's literally their username, The Outlier.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. It is very interesting to see how easy it was for any time I've ever talked about piracy for it to tick off a large percentage of the audience, because reading through these comments and the conversations, like, this is about the fastest I think I can remember seeing Floatplane chat moving.
Just move, yeah.
Everybody has drawn not just like a line on a linear scale for like how much piracy is okay, because there's all the different ways of piracying. There's all the different mediums that you can pirate. There's all the different definitions of piracy. There's a lot of folks, myself included, who feel that piracy is circumvention of the payment of a media good. Like, to me, that was always kind of what it fundamentally boiled down to. There are clearly folks who do not agree. To them, piracy requires it to be illegal explicitly. That was, and I believe that is actually like dictionary definition.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think that's the reason why you switched to calling it privateering.
Yes. So it's like this whole, it becomes like a whole spirit versus letter of the law sort of argument at that point, which, again, to me has always been, sort of arbitrary, but to a lot of people is a very important line that they draw for their own personal morality so that they don't have to wear a tricorn hat or something. But yeah, it's clear that y'all are... okay, man, I keep getting new takes here. Ixie Your Face goes, I'd never pirate fiction, but non-fictional, educational, pretty much always.
I think that's also a pretty common line, to be honest. Also,
really?
Hi, Ixie. Yeah, I think so.
I mean, explain it to me.
When you're on university campuses, the hats are on.
Yeah, sure.
The hats are firmly positioned.
Was I just a little bit on the older side? Because digital textbooks was not as much of a thing when I was in my first couple of years.
Barely creaking into being a thing when I was going to school.
I bought all my textbooks used.
People were
that was
voracious about it.
And then I resold them.
And in some cases, I definitely, honestly, do agree. There are a lot of documented counts where people are bumping revisions of books for practically nothing, where the author of the book is the teacher of the class, and then bumping revisions to make you buy new ones, and like all this.
Yep.
There's a lot of very obviously unfair play in the educational space, and it's still not legal for that whole line thing that we're talking about.
Right.
But I can definitely understand why someone's line could be placed in a position where they're like, I'm cool to pirate this. I'm going to be okay with that, because it's like, you're spending a mind-shattering amount on getting a North American education. And yeah, a 2024 study showed a huge number of students pirate books and also share them around. Totally makes sense.
Nad00 says there's even some university lecturers who will send an email out saying, don't use these websites.
Yep.
These ones.
This is a thing that has actually also happened many times.
To make it easier for them to find them.
Yep. Like it's tough, because think of how many scenarios you are required to buy a book.
Clapped K24 Accord says, I proudly pirated the Canadian Electrical Code. If safety is that important, I ain't paying $300 on it. Get wrecked.
Yeah, people have their own line, right? I don't know. I could see there being certain educational books that I would feel really bad about pirating.
Yeah.
And I could see there being certain educational books where I'd be like, download. Like, I don't know. I think it really depends on the one specifically for me.
Yeah, and to me, the biggest takeaway here is that literally no two people sitting next to each other in a room could possibly agree 100% on what's okay and what's not okay to pirate.
Yeah.
Unless they were absolutists, unless they were literally Sith.
Yeah.
Only a Sith speaks in absolutes.
Literally nothing is okay, or literally everything is okay.
Yeah.
Which there are people in both camps.
Yeah, there are people in those.
Absolutely.
I do wonder,
there probably won't
though,
be as many of them in this conversation right now in this chat, but there are people.
I do wonder if eventually you could poke a hole in most of those people's belief system, though, simply by bringing it back around to something that they work on, because it's amazing how quickly you can do that, where you kind of go, okay, but what if they pirated, this thing that you create? What if somebody didn't pay you for your work, and they'll be like, well, obviously, that's an exception because
I hope I don't misrepresent their argument, but I know there's a group of people where it's all information should be free at all times. And that's their line. And they don't care if they make it or not.
Make it?
Yeah, if they're creating information, whatever that might be.
I do believe that for there are a significant number of people that actually walk that walk.
Oh, yeah.
But also, most of the people who say they do, I have not found that they actually do.
I know I've met people that do, but I think I would agree with you on that one, where a lot of people will hear that and be like, oh, that sounds cool, and then not actually like really think about the consequences. Well, there are definitely people that have thought about the consequences and are just like, yep, totally, I'm going to contribute to open source stuff, I'm going to do all these other things, I'm going to absolutely walk this walk, and it is what it is.
Is there a how do we, because like for software, open source is like the solution, like but I don't think there's like an open source music, open source movies solution. Do you kind of get where I'm going with this? Like if you're someone who believes fundamentally that software should all be free, then there's a path to all software being free. It's been kind of laid out. We just have to do it. Whereas like movies, I don't think there's a path to movies being free.
There's people that have started putting things up. I know this is a line that's going to get really interesting really fast. But there's people that have been putting up. People are saying, "Oh yeah, public libraries, it's a good one. Creative Commons." But how do you distribute?
Well, who's going to make them? That's more the issue. Like with open source, I think we've kind of solved the who's going to make it issue, and we've solved how they're going to get paid. It's going to be through support contracts. So
for
it's like
major companies.
All right, so that's how we're doing this. But on the movie side, who will make them and how will they be paid? I don't see. Yeah,
this is some people in chat are already saying the thing that I've been thinking about, and this is going to become an interesting conversation fast, like I just said previously. But YouTube, I don't remember it, but there's a YouTube documentary that went up and did really well, and they got approached by a few different larger companies. Including Netflix and some other ones, to take that documentary and make it exclusive to their paid subscription platform. And they said no. The reason why they said no was because they thought they would have better flexibility and potentially financials by staying on YouTube because of, I think it was Patreon.
Interesting.
So it was crowdfunding.
What are we going to do?
How do you start? You have to start in that realm by
design, like from the
it's tough,
and I do, man. There was
will people stay subscribed for the 3 years it takes you to make your next documentary?
That's tough.
It's very tough.
And will YouTube continue to inshify to the point where it's going to become a major problem? Like I came across a really interesting thread on the LTT subreddit this week. Just about how crap YouTube's getting. And we did this last week, but I think it bears doing again. This is my YouTube homepage. There is an ad,
live stream,
2 live streams,
5 shorts,
a row of shorts, which they don't even autoplay the whole thing. They just stop. You have to click them. It's by design. You know it's by design. Then we get what? Another live stream, an ad, a VOD.
The first VOD.
Oh my God. YouTube playables, these AI slop garbage games. So out of my first 2 pages, so I'm below the fold already.
Video.
1 VOD.
And it is, I will say, it is kind of somewhat based YouTube that the 1 VOD that you got is like a really small video, because part of YouTube is discoverability and all that kind of stuff. But it's 1. Why is it 1?
Okay, let's keep going. I mean, I haven't prepped this, right? Below the fold again. Okay, here we go. A Boston Dynamics video that's pretty popular. Jurassic Park, but with a cat. A short circuit video. Okay, we got 3 VODs. Another row of shorts.
Another live stream.
Another ad.
A 10-year-old video from what?
13 years old, but yeah, sure, who's counting? We got Electro Boom in here. Okay, so we get a few VODs here. Another live stream, another fireplace. Please tell me that's not the same fireplace. No, it's a different fireplace.
Sorry, 1 second. Can we look at that video real quick? This Virginia traffic attorney Luke J. Nichols.mov from 13 years ago.
I mean, it's got 4.5 million views.
4.5 million views?
Oh, it's an ad. It must have been used as an ad. He's just talking about his practice.
Totally, it must have. So it's just an ad.
And it probably was an ad at some point. It probably isn't an ad anymore because there's no way.
Yeah.
This is clearly not parody, though. This is an actual ad for Virginia traffic attorney Luke J. Nichols.
.mov.
Am I missing something here? Okay, now I'm clicking it. I must be missing something here. I don't know how I found this video, but I didn't expect to see Outdoor Boys. Your new job is way cooler than a traffic attorney.
Wait, that's Outdoor Boys? Okay, that makes sense why they got so many views. That is totally him. What the heck?
Okay. Got it.
I didn't recognize the name immediately. That is incredibly random.
Hilarious. So what happens if I call this number? You know what? Let's not do that right now. That's not necessary. We're not that kind of show.
Yeah.
But so how much farther? And this was sort of the conversation that some people were trying to have in the Reddit thread. But like, how much more inshiftification is there for YouTube to go through? I mean, I do feel like this whole AI slop game thing might be the jump the shark moment.
It feels like it to me. I think I ranted about this last week, but yeah, YouTube really needs to find their way. I am genuinely rather terrified
because that was the answer, right? Like that was the community's and your answer to how we're going to not have everything be major studio funded and we're going to have like indie be possible. The answer is
YouTube has been the bastion.
Yes. They've been the way for small projects to survive and fund themselves, off platform on Patreon or even through YouTube directly. But how is VOD supposed to survive on YouTube when literally AI slop games are given better billing in the first 2 pages of the site than
significantly better billing
than VOD videos?
Yeah.
And when I say VOD, I don't mean that, a lot of this other stuff isn't also technically video on demand, but that's the way that YouTube refers to it. Is there's shorts, there's VODs, there's live. So VOD, that's like your traditional, 16:9 YouTube upload that's meant to be watched on a screen that isn't vertical. And isn't meant to be like, played a game on with AI slop junk. And I don't know. And obviously this, affects me personally, right? Because that's the majority of Linus Media Group's work is VOD. And even though we do dabble in shorts, I can tell you now that unless you're selling something through your shorts, there's not a sustainable amount of money to be made, not at any kind of scale. Like I think as an individual person, you could survive on shorts, just kind of filming yourself or maybe even a few people, small team. But beyond that, you're going to need to start to seek sponsorships. You're going to need to start to sell something. Ran into a really cool shorts creator who became a shorts creator because of his like frozen dessert business, as opposed to
there's a bunch of that going around. It's weird, but yeah.
Where like the ads, the ads have become the content, which is sort of wild.
Oh, that part's very interesting.
Hey, I think there's some people out there who would make the same argument about us.
Yep, that's again where your line is, because some people see certain types of content as ads.
It also depends on their
necessarily
perception, right? Like there is stuff that we do that I would say it could be classified as advertisement. Like we did a fully sponsored short on these like wave generator things. We just put them in my hot tub and turned it into a whirlpool.
Yeah, no, I mean we do
actually really fun.
Fair amount of things that are effectively ads. We try to make them entertaining, but they're effectively ads.
But there's a lot of people who consider like, anything that we do building a computer to be an ad simply because those are things you can buy. And it's like, well, no, that's not actually how that works either.
The line gets funky.
All right.
It's tough. But my like, I'm terrified for what's happening to YouTube thing actually has nothing to do with like my job or this place. It's entirely just that like, I don't know. There's comments in Flowplane chat of like, oh, YouTube can definitely, I can't remember where it was. I'm not going to find it. Sorry. But YouTube can definitely get worse. They've proven that before. It's like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm definitely on the like, let's dog on YouTube chain, I guess.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
it's also pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
There really isn't anything else out there like it, and I really don't think it's going to happen. If YouTube goes down, we're not going to get this back again. You look at the incumbents. What are they doing?
Yeah,
just worse things than what YouTube's doing.
Yeah, and that's and that was with YouTube to be there as a guiding star and show them how to create a creator economy company. Like Twitter talked a good game for a while about, more revenue sharing with creators and this and that, and then I think eventually their leadership figured out or that's not happening or got distracted by something. TikTok, I don't think ByteDance has any intention of ever having a revenue sharing model like YouTube introduced.
I don't.
Twitch has revenue sharing, like pretty decent revenue sharing. I'd say that's like the other platform where creators can realistically like make enough money to sustain teams, to build companies.
But like, come on,
but they're still not profitable.
About Twitch being better than YouTube in 2026?
Oh no!
But this is my point, though. Like,
and they've abandoned VOD, so VOD is pretty functionally completely abandoned on Twitch. I've had people who don't understand what Floatplane is say, "Oh, this is Floatplane's opportunity."
No, it isn't. Not. We're not doing that. It's not happening.
That will literally never happen. It will never, ever happen. The only reason that YouTube works is because it operates at such a colossal scale that no amount of, you know what? Floatplane team, super talented.
Yeah.
Amazing. Floatplane leadership, great job.
Thanks, man. Peter's in Floatplane chat right now saying, yeah, please no.
Yeah.
We're good. We're not doing that.
But a project of that scale, no matter how, I will say it right now, and I don't mean this to be offensive to the Floatplane team in any way. No amount of venture capital money would make that viable.
But that has been proven already. Like, if anyone was going to do it, it was basically going to be Amazon with adding VOD to Twitch. And then... yeah, they don't work there anymore. It's probably fine. I'm not going to name them. But I have talked to Twitch people who, during that segment of time, were like, we are going to lose. We were never going to win. This is a failed idea. Their moat is astronomically bigger than everyone thinks. And no one will ever touch YouTube. And that, like, almost, it's been too many years to say that verbatim, but, like, it's close. Like, there's no chance. And that's still kind of true. Unless they remove the moat themselves. The only real
threat...
They're
working on it. They're cooking.
Inside the building. And my concern is that threat inside the building is too much. You sound scared. I am kind of scared. The future of online knowledge sharing with YouTube rotten to its core is dark. Like you look at like so many different ways, and there's people talking about how they're stopping using social media and all these different things are happening, and like there's goodness in that, but the sad part of that is that YouTube was often
take that, dear God. The call is coming from inside the house. Because YouTube threat from within.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I was so confused looking at my phone. I was like, did you get spoofed or something? It's
okay. All right. Gravity Cube asks,
it's just concerning.
But why is it not feasible? I understand money, but what is the part that is so expensive? Okay. So uploading for free is fucking insane, for one thing. That's the start. Like, the whole uploading for free only made sense at the beginning because investment funding, burning money, user acquisition period. It was the mid 2000s / sort of late 2000s, and I mean even well into the 2010s. That was the Silicon Valley model. You just burned investor money, and then you acquired many users, and then usually you exited to a much larger company who figured out how to make money off of it eventually, or just kind of didn't and continued to burn money and just acquire users, see Twitch, as an example. That was just the model. But what happened to the vast majority of other, free to use, free to upload, free to download services, like, let's look at Dropbox as an example. Dropbox, made no sense how much they were giving away for free in the early days. Eventually, they had to look at it and go, oh my God, this doesn't make any sense. And they had to build like a viable business model. Yeah. And now Dropbox's popularity is... They were like basically
everywhere.
The cloud storage at the time, in the early days. And now it's like, Dropbox, I don't know what, did you fail to pay? Did you get cut off by, let's see, Google One, OneDrive.
Interesting that their
iCloud,
their tagline is registered users.
You better believe it. So like that whole model never made any sense, except YouTube.
YouTube has somehow
made it work. So we would have to find and the somehow, right, is they got bought by Google, who continued to throw money into the money furnace until such point as they were able to extract enough data that they were able to leverage it to make enough on that data that they were able to turn it into a self-sustaining machine. Without the deep ad business that Google has, without the way that they leverage user data to make money in their advertising business, I just don't see how it could be done. And you can look at other examples of strong advertising companies. I'd say Facebook would probably be the closest thing at this point. Meta. Meta tried. And I don't think VOD has ever really taken off on Meta. Short form, they have a lot.
Short form for sure.
But Meta's model is also so different. Like... I know like literally one creator that does well on Facebook VOD. And I know there are some other creators that do. They have some demographics, but it's not YouTube. And it's very, very, very far from being YouTube. And then the other side of it. So Google figured out how to bring in enough revenue to make it make sense. But then they also had to figure out how to scale up their infrastructure to make it affordable. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Moore's Law and like the way that storage, costs per terabyte are going, like you can't just count on your next data center to be twice as fast, have twice as much storage, and cost half as much as the last one you built anymore. The large scale corporate entities are up against the exact same challenges that we are when we go to build a new gaming PC and realize, oh my God, this thing like costs the same or more, is not that much faster than my old one. You know what? Maybe I'll just keep my 5-year-old gaming PC, because realistically, a 5-year-old gaming PC today is still going to play anything you'd want to play, and you have it already. You don't have to buy a new one. I mean, they have when you're operating at that scale, your power and your cooling become major concerns, and you might have to upgrade just from like an efficiency standpoint. But in terms of like performance and especially storage, we did a video a while back that was, I forget exactly what we called it, but it basically laid out the case for why, what was it? YouTube made a controversial move. It was something to do with YouTube Premium.
Is this the skip ad thing?
No, I think it was like
the resolution.
I think it was the resolution thing, like why 4K should be a premium feature or something like that. Yeah, thank you,
that
Zumba.
Sounds about right.
In Floatplane chat, where we basically showed how the cost per gig of storage used to go down
very rapidly.
Very rapidly.
My God, rapidly.
And then just like stopped.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, more and more people are carrying around 4K video cameras in their pockets, all while the storage doesn't get cheaper the way that it used to. So the only way to make it affordable is to just, what? I don't know. There's no magic. It's not like Google gets magic hard drives that don't cost money.
Yeah.
So apparently the answer is this. All right. Oh my God, now that I've watched one video.
Yeah, now oh wow, this is crazy.
Amazing.
Huh.
YouTube playables. Wow, I'm
Gross.
sure glad this exists. 48 million plays. With that said, I don't know, no one has ever known what
does
this
that
number
mean?
means.
Yeah.
We all kind of trust YouTube to be somewhat consistent in their application of that number, whether it's views or streams or plays. But I actually sent them an email to my rep the other day that I was really confused by. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. So let me fire this. Let me fire this over to you, Dan. Share. Nice. Noise. Oh my God. Where's Teams in my share menu? Why is it not here? Oh, they changed the icon recently. That's right. There it is. Just once. Why would I want to always share to the same app? What a stupid interface thing. I'm finally dailying the Fold 7 just in time for the Trifold to come out, and I absolutely love it so far. It definitely has some issues, but it's pretty awesome.
God, this is terrible.
What's up?
Maybe it's better on a phone. I'm trying to play one of these. I'm trying to play that game that had 48 million plays.
Oh, here, sure.
Oh, and it's like, so all of your movement, it's interesting that this works on YouTube, but all of your movement is, I see my mouse, there's this like touchpad spot, it means, it's almost certainly just made for a mobile phone. So that's probably a big part of the problem, but I am a unhearable ninja as far as I can tell. I get cash immediately. This probably counts as another play, clicking next level. Ooh, yeah, probably. I can get firearms. I don't have enough money for any of this. Cool, good game design. So they can't hear me, so I just walk near them and they get shanked. Even if they see me for a second, it doesn't really matter. I could probably just speedrun all this by just running into them. Wow, I did it. This is the game. Why has this been played 48 million times? I do suspect it's because every single time you load a level, it probably counts as the game being played again.
Well, that's the thing is like, how do things count?
Do I have to care about anything? No. All right. Sweet.
Okay, I think that's probably enough of that.
Sure is.
So I sent this screenshot. Yep, go ahead, Dan. Over to my YouTube rep. And I was basically like, okay, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. It seems like this brand is buying views against this video. So you can actually see it on the left there. That's my left circle. I hadn't switched to a Fold phone yet, so this was the interface I was dealing with. And I wanted to send just one screenshot because, I don't know, whatever, I did. So on the left, you can see the stair step of where the brand ran an advertising campaign to buy views for this video, right?
Yeah.
So it got a lot of views, but you can see the watch time is
relatively tanked.
Basically negligible. Like not just doesn't track in lockstep with the views, because I would fully expect that a purchased viewer might not stick around for as long, right? As someone who...
Well, they might stick around for 5 seconds.
Comes across the content organically, right? Oh, okay. Well, she should message me then. I didn't get a message from her. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, no, all good.
Okay.
Okay. No. Oh, right. No, I know how that one works. I can just send that to her. Okay, fine. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it now. Yeah, no, she did not message me, so I don't know. There, I've sent it. So basically, my question to the YouTube rep was like, look, I understand that how a view is counted is sort of the secret sauce. YouTube doesn't share the criteria. But is it maybe possible for me to at least understand how something like this can happen? Curiously, there's been a small uptick in subscribers that seems to correspond to the campaign that's being run.
Really?
How do you get new views, new subscribers, but functionally zero new watch time? Hi, Linus. Just getting back to you. Yep, since they're running it as an ad, it's not surprising people would be watching for far shorter than usual.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I get that. I'm just wondering why that qualifies. You can take it away, Dan. Why that qualifies as a view? It would seem like, organically, if people were finding this organically, a 3-second view or a 5-second view probably wouldn't count as a view. I have no answer on that. But what is very clear to me is that view doesn't necessarily have a set definition, because I don't think I've ever in my 18 years of uploading to YouTube ever seen a video
That's very strange.
that tracked that far off for watch time and for views.
Which is clearly just people clicking skip ad.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, right?
I noticed this as well, by the way. I was trying to talk to somebody about how viewership on YouTube is mind-blowingly spiky these days. And how sometimes it's kind of surprising, because I thought that video was pretty good. And I went to bring up that video as an example, and I was like, whoa! Oh, because I was trying to point out that it had lower views than I would expect. And then I was like, what the heck? So I went on this huge tangent where I was like bringing up the dashboard, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And then I saw those charts and was just like, okay, well, it's pretty obvious what happened.
Yeah, but nobody actually watched it, except a few people did because they subscribed to the channel. Unless there's whole bot networks snake eating its own tail, kind of that will watch. That will go out of their way to watch.
This doesn't feel like
ads,
it was
and then subscribe
bot
or something.
network views. This feels like it was YouTube ad views.
Oh, that I don't know. Probably. Yeah. But no, what I'm saying is, no. What if there's bot networks that are designed to watch the ad content?
Oh.
And subscribe to it to seem like legitimate users, so that those bot accounts can be reused later or whatever. They're just farming new bot accounts or something. I don't
piggybacking on a system that exists to try to legitimize themselves in some way. Interesting.
And you know what? It's not the most egregious sort of abuse of metrics to make advertisers feel like they're getting something for their money that I've ever seen. I remember my old boss at NCIX, not Taryn, not the owner of the company, Jack. I remember him explaining to me how magazines and newspapers managed to sell their advertising for so much money. And it blew my mind at the time because, to me, a techie guy for whom 1 megahertz is 1 megahertz and nothing more, nothing less, right? To have something so emotional be sold and then bought by somebody was just inconceivable, right? But he's like, yeah, so you got to understand that on the internet, an ad view is an ad view by and large, but with magazines, they would actually have a multiplier. So first they would assume that every single magazine that was sold to a person who viewed every single ad in it.
But then they assume it's left on a coffee table or whatever else. Oh my God.
And I think the multiplier, depending on the publication, could be 2x or even 5x. And these are just assumptions that would be kind of hidden in the footnotes of the sales deck. But
that's wild.
Yeah, right.
To a certain limited degree, sure. But there's no way it's as high as they were saying.
No, I mean, there's no way it was even 1.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being real, like, what happened to an unsold magazine? It didn't get read by 3 people. Come on.
Also, not every single thing in the entire magazine is read. Back when magazines were a thing, it was very common to be like, oh yeah, I read front page and page 8, and that's it every time. I don't read anything else. So, I actually... Back in those days, I didn't know that many people that would read the whole thing. I don't think I knew anybody. So, anyways.
I mean, there are certain magazines that the articles were the only thing that I was interested in.
For sure. Yes. It's important to note as well.
Everything else was unnecessary filler. I would...
Sometimes there was filler on them.
And I would make sure... I would check every page. To verify if it was in fact filler, and I would look closely to be sure that I knew that it was certainly filler
Sometimes
before I
you
went
might
past
spend
it.
more time on those pages verifying that they were filler.
Yes.
Anyways, topic 2.
The RAM shortage is here to stay, likely resulting in raised prices on PCs and phones. Yes. Thank you, International Data Corporation, IDC, for verifying what everyone else, I think, has known for a while. IDC market analysis finds that because memory makers like Micron, Samsung, and SK Hynix are shifting supply to AI data centers, stock is tightening for everyday devices, and companies that compete on low price with budget products are getting hit hardest and are responding by raising prices or cutting features. Apple and Samsung have secured their supply early, as if that's going to stop them from raising prices. But PC makers like Dell, HP, Acer, etc. are already signaling price increases as memory costs climb. So yes, it's another Rampocalypse topic, but there are a couple of new things that that make this not like what we've seen before. So first, something that we have seen before, Valve discontinued the least expensive Steam Deck. This was the $400 LCD model that was sometimes on sale for as little as $350. It has been quietly discontinued, and quietly all of the remaining stock was snapped up. So now the cheapest Steam Deck, I believe, is the OLED. Hold on a second, I'm trying to find it. My search here is not fine. Is it in the dock? Oh yeah, here it is. So now the most affordable option is the 512 gig OLED version for $550. Oh, man. The Steam Deck was the affordability of the Steam Deck was such a game changer, like for PC gaming. And to be clear, I have hope that affordable Steam Deck will return. It's just that you can't do anything about your supplier cost.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair to...
I don't think Valve wants to do this at all.
I don't think it's fair, yeah, exactly, to be mad at Valve over their incoming supply, over their sourcing costs going up a lot.
And to be clear, I like to often point out their 30% take and how they're not quite the
benevolent gods
that people say. They are pretty freaking cool.
They're quite
in a lot
based
of ways.
Often, but the way that Valve has approached gambling, for instance, the way that Valve just kind of takes their take, and imperfect algorithmic, etc., and not standing up to payment processors around us just being allowed to spend our money however we like, which should be the way that it works. Valve is not perfect. However,
this is one of the ways that they've actually been super cool for a long time, is they're really not. They understand the model of, we're going to sell you this thing and it's going to have our store on it and you're going to buy our games, and that's great. Therefore, the thing doesn't have to be too expensive. And they've been keeping stuff like the Steam Deck like really cheap for a long time. And I don't think there's a shift here where they're like, oh, RAM prices are up, we can loot people now.
No, I don't think it's that way.
I'm for sure happening. I'm for sure that's happening at some companies somewhere, and I really don't think it's happening.
So basically, we're not bootlicking Valve. We're just trying to make sure that our anger right now is directed at the correct sources.
We're going to start having like fancy restaurant pricing for things where it just says like market price on everything. And the market price is just dictated by RAM.
I don't know. I feel like that's something that I did not get across very well last week when I was trying to talk about the sort of perspective shift. A lot of that whole conversation went up on LMG Clips, and a lot of people were extremely mad about it. In fairness, I did not open the conversation very tactfully.
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to...
If I can interject for a moment.
What you're referring to as tactless was in fact tactless plus...
I think part of the problem is that you script think out loud. I've been thinking about this since you mentioned it before the show. And I think that was Linus script thinking out loud, which is where you kind of start with this dramatic position.
Oh, I see.
And then you distill it and you research it and you massage it into a well thought out argument that ends up being a script. And you script thunk out loud on WAN Show, and people were like, "Oh!"
A lot of people didn't watch that far into the clip, I can tell you that much. But basically what I was trying to get across, and so a lot of the comments are about how, like, well, you got to understand that, like, housing is way more expensive and healthcare is way more expensive. We have a lot of American viewers. And food is way more expensive and computers are way more expensive. And I guess, like, what I was trying to get across last week is, like, if for the last, I mean, realistically, the whole thing kind of goes back to sometime in the 70s when wages just completely decoupled from corporate earnings, because they track pretty close up
for
until
a long
like
time.
70s, 80s.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened back then. I don't know. Who knows? No one knows. But they track pretty close up until then, and then they just completely decoupled from each other. And I guess the point that I was trying to make last week is, like, if you've been having the shit kicked out of you for 50 years by housing and food and housing and food are, and utilities and essentials.
That's happening right now too. Energy prices are going through the roof.
And clothing. And then all that time, gaming has been there for you, with a full retail game being $60 somehow, in spite of everything else going like this. And computers have been there for you like this, while everything else has gone like this. And flat screen TVs have been there for you like this, while everything else has gone like this.
And flat screens are still there for some reason.
Somehow. I guess what I was trying to get across last week was that, yes, this RAM pricing blip really sucks, especially if you have to buy some RAM right now. But compared to the absolute beating that all of these other essentials have been dishing out, it still hasn't even remotely kept up with how much everything else has gone up. And it sucks. And especially the reason sucks. Like the fact that it's just so that we can have more AI that I don't think anyone, especially in this community, is really asking for.
Yeah, a massive amount of the output that I see from those systems is junk that no one wants. So if we didn't just make all the junk that no one wants, this probably wouldn't be happening legitimately.
So yeah, I guess what I was trying to get across is, like, guys, the fact that we can still buy a Steam Deck for $550, that's a lot worse than $400, which is how much we could buy it for a week ago. For how much value and how much entertainment and how much we can extract from that Steam Deck for $550, all I was trying to say is, hey, let's not be super mad at Valve about this. You can be mad about the situation. You should be mad about the situation. Like, dude, I was reading about how much the big food lobby has engaged with the current administration to defang the good parts of the Make America Healthy Again initiative.
Oh, really?
And it's been like unprecedented. They're all spending at rates that are like at least decade-long highs, in some cases all-time highs, to just defang all this stuff. You should totally be mad. You should be super mad right now.
So many things. There's honestly too many things to be mad about.
But I do feel like in some ways, and this is what I was talking about with the perspective adjustment, I feel like in some ways our passion for gaming and our passion for technology is making it so that we are more angry at this thing that we love than at the things that have actually been beating the shit out of us far more over a much longer period of time. And I don't think I did a great job of explaining that, but I was trying to be more positive.
Thinking.
I was trying to be a little more positive. And you know what? It's funny because there was a time, probably about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I'll stop. It's so dead. It's like so dead at this point.
That's when it becomes fun. I am that old guy.
Did you just dab?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I'm not even doing it properly. There we go. Yeah. See, now it's fun.
I can't even do it right, but okay. Anyway, there was somewhere between
totally fake Arthur and Full Blink Chats. Mods ban them.
somewhere between 5 and 8 years ago.
There you go.
We were really leaning into more negativity in our content. More like anger at the stagnation in like silicon improvements, more rants. And Yvonne actually kind of like sat me down and was like, okay, listen, is that good for anybody? Does that help anybody? Does that help anybody get a better deal on their next computer?
Based Yvonne.
Does that help anybody, feel more positive about the system that they're building to like play games? Like, can you find a positive side? And I kind of went, okay, yeah. Like I think I can. Like, excuse me, the Steam Summer Sale is still there for us. You know, there's so many games that come out these days that do not have high system requirements. And like, I know that there's a large, extremely vocal part of the community that is very angry about new games having high system requirements that can't be run without upscaling or frame generation or whatever else. And it's like, whoa. Like, you could probably count on your fingers and toes those releases. Whereas every week, Steam gets flooded with many games that are a lot of fun to play that you don't have to do any of that for. You can play on a 10-year-old Linux computer.
It's a very interesting tone shift because of how much people liked Crysis.
I know.
Because it was practically impossible to run. And it was like fun trying to see if you could and stuff like that, yeah.
But okay, you know what? I think that is such a critical point that you've landed on there. Because why are people yelling at me over on LMG clips? Why are people yelling at...
Well, the way you framed your argument sucked.
No, hold on, Mel. Hold on.
Okay.
You know, why are people yelling at game developers for building games that demand the fastest computers? Why are people angry at all of these places that didn't create the problem? Well, it's because of that passion. That's exactly what I was talking about. So back then, they didn't have, at least to the same degree that it's there now, all these external stressors.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That are impeding on their ability to
It was so much easier to just live.
To splurge on a new GPU.
Yeah.
Or that could make it so you could aspire to one day owning a system that could run it. It's the hopelessness that is actually caused by all these other factors. I mean, when was the last time on WAN Show? Okay? Think about it. When was the last time we talked about a technology industry hiring wave? Who is our fucking audience?
Yeah, it would have been early COVID. It happened, would have been early COVID. Something that I think is interesting, just on this topic, we started this company in your garage.
Yeah.
That was a normal thing for companies with very low amounts of money to do back then. Most people don't have garages anymore. Like that is, if now,
Yep.
that would have been a privileged position.
Yep.
Which is nuts.
Even then, it was a privileged position. I mean, I remember Yvonne and I shopping for our house and pushing ourselves for a detached house.
There are cheaper detached houses that have garages.
And that was with her. Well, okay. I mean, yes, but also not by as much as you might think. We were already in the burbs. It wasn't like a large house.
You can get, I mean,
by those standards.
Yeah.
It was older. It was old when we bought it, but not like cool, heritage.
Not retro.
No, it was just old.
Yeah. Whatever it's called, something modern.
And so we almost bought like a row home.
Yeah.
That was what was like kind of comfortable. And then we pushed ourselves hard. And you've got to remember that I am married to someone who I don't think really clued in to how exceptional she is until I finally did it. I think I got through to her. We were in the Costco parking lot. We were kind of like walking into the store, and I was like, yeah, I always like knew, but I never really thought about how insane it is that you got hired as the manager of a Costco pharmacy at 23. That is fucking insane. Just graduated, major corporation,
straight to manager,
super high hiring standards, straight to managing a department with functionally no experience. I mean, she had some pharmacy work experience from her practicum, and I think she had like a year's experience working or half a year's experience or something working at Save-On in the pharmacy there. And she went straight to managing a department. And I was like, I was thinking about it because I don't think we've ever seen, and no offense to the many, many very talented people who work for and who have applied at Linus Media Group, I don't think we have ever seen anyone who's walked in at 23 and we've gone, holy shit. We will hire this person to manage a team of 15 to 20 people immediately. And she was like, oh yeah, I never really thought about that before. And I was like, yeah, okay, have I finally gotten through? So anyway, the point that I was getting at here is that was with the benefit of her working as a pharmacy manager, which is not normal for our cohort. I should not have been married to someone that was making six figures. I also dropped out and got I worked hard, and I like to think that I'm also not stupid, right? But I got pretty lucky. Not everyone who took an entry-level job at NCIX advanced to senior management in 4 years or whatever, 5 years or whatever it was.
I do think you're making all this comparison, which is all fair, but that house was more expensive than a lot of other options that were around.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And the location makes it way more expensive. If we're looking at like the North Americas as a whole,
sure,
it was relatively common to have a garage available to start your company at that year.
So, okay, I was looking at it from like a Vancouver market perspective. You're looking at it from a North America wide.
Culturally, for people who would have watched the video.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For the largest demographic of people that would have watched the video.
In Vancouver, even then,
it was still
a garage was crazy.
Yeah.
And it was because Yvonne and I just like teamed up and lifed together hard from 18, which is also not normal.
Yes.
Like I look back and I go, if I'd had to solo it for some period of years, right, instead of having a partner, everything would have been way harder. Absolutely everything.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, no, and now, I mean, there are still places that are cheap. Every once in a while, I'll just like I'll jump onto a real estate listing site, and you'll find like a detached home that's you look at it and you go, yeah, I couldn't even buy like an empty lot in like Chilliwack for that.
It's priced knowing that you're going to have to somehow get rid of all the material that is the current house.
No. Well, no, in some parts of the States and stuff, like you can buy a whole house like that you can live in tomorrow for like less than what you'd pay for an empty lot in Chilliwack.
Because I've walked through places around here that like seem like they're nicely priced, and then as you're walking through it, the wood in the floor is so like rotten and moldy that you're like concerned you're going to fall through the floor, and there's just like doom and treachery around every corner. It can get pretty sketch on the cheaper end.
What are we supposed to be talking about? Oh, right. Have they figured things out?
They have. It's working.
Okay.
I have verified it's working.
It's working!
So I'll go through the flow. So if you go on the LTTStore.com site, you can click on this banner which says View Video on YouTube. The video is
banner. I hardly know her.
The video is unlisted, so you're probably going to have to find it through the site. But if you go to the unlisted video that you can click on the banner on the store to get to, you can then see these screwdrivers, which say they're a certain cost, but maybe don't worry about that cost. And then you click on it, then you add it to cart. And then when you get there, it's discounted. There's two of them here. It's discounted.
Oh, okay, there were two. Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yep, that was a little freak out that I had.
That's how it works. Is the flow weird? Yes.
Yes.
Does it work?
Also, yes. Double yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to look like it's not working. There is a point that you get to in this flow that feels strange. I'm going to point it out. You click on. So let me go back.
Oh my God.
You're on the video. You scroll down. You click on the thing. It shows this price here. You click on the thing. You get there, and I don't see anything going on. I don't see any discounts or anything.
Well, there's a thing down below.
It says
for the Boxing
here,
Day 20. Yeah, watch the video.
But this price, which is what 99% of people are just going to see, they're not going to read anything else, looks like that.
Right.
If you click add to cart and then go to your cart, now it's correct. Now it's correct because I have gone into my cart to see it. So you gotta have some follow through. It's like a golf swing or something. You ever compare your sales pipeline to a golf swing?
Can't say I've ever compared anything to golf in any way.
Oh, nice. What now, huh?
So yeah, they're the same screwdrivers you know and love, just dressed in some very fun, very nostalgic Y2K clear tech colors. Prismagic series. That discount that Luke showed you, the 20% off that we've teamed up with YouTube Shop to offer, is from December 26th to 30th. Don't wait. Also, we've got a bunch of other cool stuff that you can check out on the store right now. If you've ever seen our LumaField CT scanner video, this might look a little familiar. It's inspired by the see-through scans that we get when we put products in the machine. Cool, right?
That is cool.
So we've got, what all do we have on here? We have someone wearing a Vision Pro. Right behind the mic, right there. We've got a CPU. There it is. These are actual scans out of the LumaField scanner. We've got a little Breadsaurus plastic toy. We've got a screwdriver in there. I think there's a game controller, so you can see like the rumble motors and stuff. And it's just kind of a cool all-over print hoodie that if people don't look that closely at, they might not even realize that it's like a whole bunch of tech and stuff. LMG.gg/all-over-print. You can check that out there. But wait, there's more.
Oh.
It's finally here.
Oh.
It's finally here. The first party bit case from LTTStore.com. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 30. Holds 30 bits.
7.
What? Stop it.
I don't know.
Stop it. They didn't even see you do that. They can't even see you right now. He's over here dabbing again. Just stop it. Anyway, the point is it closes with a magnet and it has one of those little key things so you can throw a magnetic cable management power bar holder on it, and then you can just like stick it to stuff. But wait, there's more. It's been 83 years, but we finally have Pozidriv for our European friends. This is one of those things where a lot of people don't even realize that there is a difference. And they just grab a Phillips bit when the screw is actually Pozidriv, and then they wonder why it's slipping or getting stripped. Turns out, wrong bit. We now have Pozidriv bits for when you actually need Pozidriv bits, which is more often than you might realize. IKEA, for instance, I believe uses Pozidriv, so you can shop both the LTT screwdriver bit case and the Pozidriv bits at lmg.gg/pozibitcase. That is a horrible vanity URL. POZI bit case. Anyway, what? Page not found. It was there. Hold on. What just happened? No, not that. No, I know, but it went, I'm so confused. See? Okay, well, we should probably deal with that. Whatever, it's probably on the homepage. Please tell me it's on the homepage. Yeah, there it is. Okay, nice. Posi_bitcase. Good enough. We'll figure it out. Drop Table Employees asks, why bit holder 30 bits? Such a missed opportunity to make it 32-bit. I know, right? It was the exact same thing with the with this one too. I wanted to make the precision bit set. I wanted to make it 64-bit, but it just ended up working out better to be 60-bit. So I'm sorry, and I will do better next time. That'll be the sequel to both of them. So lots of good stuff on the store this week. Great time to, pick up the Christmas present that you didn't get. We actually, it's now become consistent. I've noticed that there is a spike on Christmas Day, even if we don't have any promos running, of just like...
People expected a thing, and then they're just like still sitting on the couch and like, add to cart, check out, see ya.
Yeah. Right. Or people spending Christmas money. So it's one of the two, but it's 100% a thing.
That makes sense. I just haven't received Christmas money in a long time.
Yep.
That makes sense.
All right. Dan, what are we supposed to be doing? All right. We're supposed to explain merch messages. So if you're new to WAN Show, welcome.
Hey.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the WAN Show. If you're new, then the way to interact with the show is not to throw money at your screen. We're really not that into that. Frankly, I'm doing pretty okay. He's doing pretty okay.
I'm all right.
That doesn't mean that we don't like making money.
And there are other people that work here.
We do. And that's our jobs and that's their jobs. And, yeah, that's cool. But what we also like a lot is working hard for that money. We really do. We
Just a bit of a glutton for it, I think.
We so often choose the hard path.
Yeah.
So instead of just having you throw money at us through Twitch bits or whatever the YouTube ones are called, super chats or anything like that, we create what we feel are really amazing products, and we have you guys buy those products, and then you can send a message to the show like that. And then even if we don't get to your message, you still get high quality merchandise in the mail. It's a pretty good system. So why don't we show you guys how it works? You go ahead and you go onto the site, you add something to your cart, and when you're in your cart, Luke's working on it. He's working on it. He's cooking. Let him cook. You go ahead and add something to your cart, and when we're live, you will see...
No, I meant to click the arrow to go to the next one.
Yeah, sure. Full pic transparency mode. Nice. Tom's such a Chad. Okay, there you go. Merch message. So you write a little message that will go to producer Dan. There he is. Stop it. Do it right. No!
I like this
Stop
one.
it! Stop it! No, we're just going. No, forget it. Stop it.
It's great.
That will go to producer Dan. Try again. There it is. I'm so triggered right now. Who will put your merch message on the screen like that one that's up there? Tina V, what's up? Or who will reply to it, or who will curate it for me and Luke to respond to? Why don't we show you guys with a couple curated messages how that works?
Sure, I got one here from Josh. Hey, Linny, Louie, and Lan saying hi from Toronto.
Hi.
Toronto. What do you think is the most pressing issue tech is facing but doesn't get much media attention? Brain rotification of social media, perhaps?
There's a decent amount of attention on that. That is probably the biggest single problem.
Nope.
But,
Nope. I'm going to say the biggest single problem is perverse incentives.
Okay. So he just went one step down. He went to the root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they asked what the
It's a
biggest
good
problem.
move. It's a good move. But that it's arguable that that's the biggest problem with like everything.
Yes.
I
So
love it. Yes.
perverse incentives, they're a huge problem. I mean, we talk about it from like a management perspective often,
yeah.
like creating KPIs for people that incentivize completely the wrong behaviors that are destructive to themselves, their department, the entire company, that just like can seem well intentioned at the time. Like you could create an incentive for someone to, reply to the most emails, right? Or, you know what, a great example, Linus Torvalds called out, a super, visionary tech leader for valuing lines of code.
Oh man, there was a lot of points in that video. I watched the whole thing. There was a lot of points in that video where
Is he
I
based
felt
or what?
very validated about different stances. That was very much one of them.
Yeah. Well, I specifically brought that up on your
I know.
behalf.
You were like, there's a particular member, and I was like, yeah. It was great.
And by creating, theoretically, right, like on the very, very, very top crust of the Earth surface, crust is very thin relative to the depth of the Earth. Okay, that seems like it could be a good idea.
You tell this man has kids.
You want your developers to like code a lot, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Passes the initial
Person should be doing work. What is work? Typey. I want lots of typey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the amount of thinking that
But if you were to think about it for longer than about 4 seconds, you might think, oh, wait, quantity is probably not the most beneficial thing to this person's
maybe
career
an extremely
development.
valuable one of the keys that they could typey is backspace or delete.
Yeah, who knows? And so if you think about it, you're creating an incentive for potentially slapdash, shoddy, inefficient work. And so perverse incentives exist everywhere. And, right now, I think that in gaming, for instance, gamers have created a reward system for developers that rewards forever live service, gacha, embedded ads, expensive loot boxes,
pay to win,
roster packs, pay to win, and it is human nature to get a reward and repeat that behavior. And the only difference now is that we're doing it on an industrial scale. I think that the business funding machine has created perverse incentives to target infinite exponential growth because that's where they get their reward from. And that's where we get bizarre behavior like buying all of the memory in the world for an entire year. Pretty much no matter, we were talking a lot about piracy earlier in the show. I think that in some cases, pirating online media, we can create perverse incentives for ever more intrusive advertising and paywalls and monetization structures because people expect to be paid for their work, which is wild, crazy, right? But I think if people had continued to not become immune to banner ads or block them, we might not have ended up with say something. Remember that? Do you remember that audio clip? Because I will never forget it. What?
Man, what is that?
I don't even remember what it was for.
Deeply ingrained in my brain, but I don't remember what it's for or from.
Say something in what?
Yeah, but I know it's like a thing that I've heard.
It was a banner ad for something. I don't remember what it was, but it was an audio banner ad. Yeah. And it was the most obnoxious one. Oh my God, my speakers are on.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'd have to like find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, ugh.
And yeah, so and it's one of those things where like on the subject of ad block, right? I never said don't do it. I've even showed people how to do it. But what I did say was consider the outcomes. Every action we take has consequences. And if you want quality media that you enjoy, if you want, quality writing that you like to read, then you may consider that those things need financial support to exist. Or you may not. But then just, when we're in the dystopian AI slop future, just, understand that we all, me, him, even him, we all had a part to play in this outcome. And this is really, really important. Okay, so put down your keyboards. One moment, please. This is really, really important. We might have ended up there anyway. We might have ended up with the intrusive ads. We might have ended up with AI slop, all the things, and human jobs being cut. We might have ended up there anyway, because corporate greed truly knows no limits. But we might not have, and we'll never know now.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I think it's somewhat true, but also if the incentives are the opposite, where like if you don't support things that do that, the corporate greed will follow where the incentives are. The corporate greed is a guarantee.
Yeah. But if we provided incentives to build high quality products, for instance, then the corporate greed would follow that.
Yeah.
But we provide incentives to build disposable, the cheapest possible thing. And, that's why, oh boy, that's why North American manufacturing was offshored.
I find it funny that you moved away from the mic as if you're trying to like dodge offshore.
Some mic can fly. Yeah. I mean, if I can talk at them that way, then maybe they can yell at me through it.
You can make speakers be microphones. Can you make microphones be speakers?
Yes.
Can you?
I think so.
It feels like probably.
I think if you did it hard enough, probably. I don't know that they'd be loud, but you can,
yeah.
Yeah,
people are saying yes, you can. Yeah, all right. So then it could happen. We'll ruin the mic. I don't think they're concerned about that.
Yeah. So this is one of those things that it's like we have no further to look than, in the mirror. And I'm a participant every single time that I go to the dollar store to buy a barbecue scraper rather than buy one from Smarter every day.
There is, I think I've pointed this video out maybe a couple times on WAN Show, but there is a video by Speed.
Like iShow Speed?
No, this comes up every time. Barbecue scraper man.
Yep. I love that that's like in some circles what he's known for now.
Really?
Yeah.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah, right?
Can I find this video? He did a video on like buying they don't make them how they used to. Is that true? And it's actually very interesting if I can even find it, which so far I can't.
Speaking of perverse incentives, YouTube titling and thumbnails. We wouldn't do it if
I didn't even
work.
try to search for this because, I'm not like, oh, this guy does clickbait. It's just like, it's a standard on the platform now, right? You like basically have to. Man, where is it though? I don't think it's that.
Oni Haikij says all incentives are perverse and degrade moral integrity. When you make a decision based on only benefits, you're not exercising your moral willpower and it will atrophy over time. The starting point of any decision should be your own moral framework, which is cool in theory. It's great in theory.
Welcome to companies.
And the second that you have 100 mouths to feed, and you make...
It's not even just that. The standard state for companies is corporate greed. That's how companies work. It's honestly, at a certain level, how they sort of have to.
Sort of. I mean, you don't even have to start there, which is why I started with the second you have 100 mouths to feed, and pivoting your company in some way will be the difference between a Christmas bonus and mass layoffs. Then I will ask, I'll turn the question around on you and I'll ask which was the moral choice. Because the railroad tracks were your own personal integrity, or all of your employees lined up, tied down on the railroad track. Which switch do you pull? It's
tough,
not that simple.
But then there are also some layoffs that are super simple. Where it's like, I don't know, stock dollar number go up if fire large number of people, and then I get new boat.
Yeah.
I choose boat.
I would say that's a super perverse incentive.
Yeah.
Amaria says, Linus taking gambling ads next year, confirmed. No, we are very far from that point. I do think that's an interesting line, though. I mean, it's one of those things that
I found it.
Okay, Luke, hold on before you click that.
Yes.
If Colton came to us and said, "Hey, basically, the industry is getting hit super hard. There's no advertising coming in from tech companies because they can't sell anything anyway because literally like they can't get enough RAM to sell computers that have RAM in them."
Hot take. I think that's actually a really good decision for them to do. But anyways,
basically our revenue is going to be down by 30%. We will have to let go of, we have some buffer. We're not an irresponsibly run company. And we have done it before, and, to an extent, we'll do it again where we'll cut profits in order to maintain headcount, but we're going to lose 10% of our people. We're going to lose 10%. I have a solution. We're going to work with DraftKings or, whatever, and they'll basically pay us a guaranteed, amount over the course of the year. Would you rather cut 10% of your teams, or would you rather take a gambling sponsorship? And to be clear, I'm not saying that you can tell he's agitated because his chair's shaking. He's doing the leg thing.
It's a constant state, but it ramps up when I'm agitated. That's for sure.
Yeah, and this is all easy for people to say. It's all easy for people to take a stance on until it's someone they know personally, right?
Yeah. Good people.
Good people.
Because the reason why I'm saying good people is this is not one. This is due to global market factors. This scenario you're laying out is that it's not because of anyone's individual failure.
No.
We just have to cut heads.
Yep. And I mean, look, this is a hard truth. The head that we cut won't be mine. I can absorb some of it, but like, it's not going to be like, oh, let's just like not have Linus anymore and let's keep everyone else. Like, that's not happening.
I do think there's that, like, how the Nintendo executives dealt with Wii U is just like deeply based.
Deeply.
But it also,
for those who didn't know, Nintendo like slashed executive pay when the Wii U was a failure.
Like pretty hard.
And they did not touch, to my knowledge, they did not touch IC, individual contributor pay.
Yeah, trying to find this.
I forget the exact details, but basically Nintendo was like hyper-based about it.
When the Wii U, this is an AI overview thing, but this sounds accurate to my memory. No, I'm going to go find a source. Screw it. I don't care. I'm trying to be fast because it's on the show, but you guys are just going to have to wait.
Okay.
All right?
While you're waiting for him, it's funny.
50% layoff for the CEO and 20 to 30% layoffs for
pay cuts,
other
cuts,
executives.
not layoffs.
Sorry, yeah. Whoa.
Pay cuts.
50% layoff for
pay cuts.
Oh my God, why can't I say this properly? 50% pay cut for Satoru Iwata, and 20 to 30% reductions for other executives.
Yeah. Super based.
That being said, you said 30% rev down. I don't think that would solve.
Well, no, it wouldn't, because
even if we did that,
well, no, that's why I said 30% revenue down, we would have to take a 10% pay cut, because I'm assuming that we will absorb some of it.
Oh yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But
what I'm saying is we can't absorb all of it. So the choice is
at 30% rev down. I don't think we could, even if we wanted to. It's what I'm trying to.
Oh yeah, no, we couldn't.
That's what I'm trying to communicate.
Like it's not viable.
We could, for honor's sake, pull the, and probably would, I suspect in this case, pull the Nintendo move, but that would not pull us out of. We're still screwed.
Yeah, so we would still have to do
like you
something.
Said, war chest, blah 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 blah. But a 30% reduction in rev is not something a lot of companies can just like take on the chin and keep going. This is like
catastrophic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you now, Linus Media Group Incorporated, Floatplane Inc., Creator Warehouse Inc. do not have 30% net profit.
Yeah.
So,
which is fine. But a fact nonetheless.
But it is a fact. And so if it came to that, there is no, well, Linus should just make less outcome that is going to be acceptable.
Doesn't resolve the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, and look, if you could just say, hey, look, I hope I never have to make this choice, and I'm not going to force you to answer the question.
No,
but
I think
my point was just that it's hard. It's not black and white. That was the point. But if you think you have an answer, I'm interested.
It's tough, but I would talk to my teams. I would just be super real about the situation that we're in. And I think what I would do is, I don't know, describe the situation, describe the problem that we're in, and maybe even end up, I would enthusiastically talk about the fact that we really don't want to do things like gambling sponsorships, that it goes against the standards that we've set for ourselves, yada, 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 yada. But that there is no way that we have been able to find out of this scenario. Because again, we're in the confines of this thought experiment.
Yeah.
There is no other route. Because we're not saying this is technical reality. We're saying this is the confines of the thought experiment.
Yeah.
The confines of the thought experiment is the only path out is either layoffs or ad sales. This is not a reality.
We've eliminated every other option.
This is not a reality situation. So I would talk to the people, discuss potential solutions that we don't want to do the ad thing, but if everyone is like hyper desperate and they're like, look, there literally are no jobs, I will be homeless if this doesn't happen, then we discuss as a team what that means.
Which
for what
in the
we're
current
projecting.
job market is
might
like,
be decently realistic.
Could be realistic, and
people are talking across the board pay reductions.
Oh, okay. So that's one of those things that's a great idea until it happens to you.
Yeah.
So we discovered something many, many years ago when we pretty much mostly...
Let me interject real quick. If the whole group came to that conclusion...
That's one thing.
That is one thing.
They won't.
And that would be with leaders taking a higher pay cut, etc.
They won't.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily would.
We discovered years ago that running sweepstakes, instead of creating one winner, creates a million losers. And it generates more negativity than any positivity out of it could possibly have been generated. And in the same way that if we were to cut 10% of the workforce, we'd be creating 10% low morale, all people who don't work here anymore. And if we cut the entire workforce by 10%, we'd be generating the entire workforce low morale.
Yeah.
And they would all still work here.
I think there is technically a way out with the entire workforce reduction thing. If the whole team, the entire team, rallies behind it and is like, okay, we will restore this if we get to whatever state, blah, 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 then cool. I think that's extremely tough.
It's not going to happen. I mean, already Scrappy DP is taking a stance that would be incompatible with us crawling our way out of this hole. You'll get 10% less work.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there are specific teams that could do this, that could rally behind this banner, and there are certain teams that would be unable to. I don't know where we're at. That's not even part of this conversation. It doesn't really matter. I can imagine companies, though. I can imagine states of different companies, too, where they would have been in a spot where that would be totally fine. But I can also imagine companies where people would be like, well, I mean, I'd rather leave. And then it's like, okay, cool. And then you kind of pivot to a position where it's like, all right, if we know we have to do this layoff thing, let's do this as like a team. And instead of just like blindsiding people, let's try to work with you, try to help you find positions. You can work here until this time. Let's work with you full time until then to try to help you get a spot, things like that. There are ways out to try to lessen the blow in this specific scenario where there is no other way out. You're not doing it because of individual performance, blah, 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 blah.
Crater says pay cuts plus company ownership percentage could maybe balance out part of the morale blow. Yeah, the issue is that
that's a fun tax bill.
It just doesn't really work that way. Like it's people ultimately are most impacted by the things that most impact them directly. And that sounds like a kind of stupid, unnecessary thing for me to have to say, but it's the truth. At the end of the day, a whole bunch of people being miserable all at the same time, in theory, misery loves company and all of that, but it doesn't actually make, when we say misery loves company, we don't say that it like makes them happier that everyone's miserable. It just is something to talk about, and it can create a death spiral.
Oh, and, I was going to say, I always interpreted that statement differently.
Yeah.
I thought misery loves company is because people who are miserable will like radiate misery around them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And I don't think we need to go like too much further into this. We're not.
The Mighty Reptar said people are able to be so idealistic when they can just type in chat. Yeah, it's tough. I'm trying to like actually think about actually being in this scenario. And, emotions are going to end up getting really, really high. People are going to end up getting really, really mad.
Yeah, I mean,
pointing fingers is going to happen almost immediately.
And here's the thing, like, remember the emotional response last week when I was talking about the perspective adjustment on RAM pricing? At the end of the day, most of the things we buy in a given year are not RAM and don't have RAM in them.
Yeah.
But this was something that, especially if, let's say, because it's all about like me right now, how does this impact me? For most people, and that's human. I'm not blaming anybody for that. But if you are the person who has been saving up for 2 years to finally buy a gaming PC or a Steam Deck or whatever it is, and you've had it yanked away from you, it's like, grand scheme of things, most things only have RAM as part of their cost. So even if RAM goes up double or triple, that didn't double or triple the overall price of the thing. Like on numbers, on a spreadsheet, in a live chat, it's not that impact for that person. It's the difference between they can buy that thing that they've been dreaming of for 2 years and now they cannot. And for some people, a 10% pay cut could be the difference between surviving and not. And so it's easy to say, like, oh yeah, the team should just all agree on a 10% pay cut to weather the storm and not take, gambling ads or whatever. But I wouldn't even, it's not like I wouldn't understand that one person who goes, I cannot do that.
Yeah, totally reasonable. But Leah K in Floatplane Chat said a while back, my company offered a voluntary 5% pay cut as an alternative to redundancy layoffs, and it worked. And then there's other people in here saying that morale at their company has been ruined because of a layoff that happened due to decreased revenue. Like this is a no actual good answer scenario. There are a lot of those scenarios in life. And realistically, someone is going to be like possibly full on crash out level livid about any answer that you come up with.
Yep.
And you just have to try to work with people to do the best thing you can.
Yep.
And that, as Scrappy DP said, it will depend on the organization. Totally
100%.
true. It's going to depend on the group of people. It's going to depend on how that group of people can band together to move past this. It's going to depend on if that group of people even wants to. That might be the core problem in the first place, if we're being completely honest. There's so many variables, so many different things, and it's a no-win scenario. It's a hopefully reduced loss scenario.
Animaxtra says, are you saying a 10% pay cut could bankrupt your employees? I don't know, possibly. I don't manage their finances.
If you look up...
No matter how much money you're making,
This is exactly what I'm going to say. If you look up income and how much people are living paycheck to paycheck, it almost doesn't matter. People's expenses often will just track their income.
So at the time we bought this office, I think our revenues were over $1 million a year, right?
Okay.
But just because we had that much revenue, if we had had a significant reduction in our revenue and we were still bringing in $700,000 a year or whatever, that's still a lot of money. But yeah, that could have forced us into bankruptcy because we had so many bills.
Dude, Daremp said, I'd happily take a 20% cut to go down to a 4-day work week. One of the problems with this scenario is...
How are we going to fight our way back to competitiveness? You got to be kidding me.
That doesn't work. At that point, they might as well just lay off.
Yeah, and so Buddy, who's like, you're going to get 10% less work. It's like, okay, great. So now we're fucked then because we're already struggling to compete. Because at the end of the day, it is competition, right? I do genuinely believe that, my fellow tech YouTubers, I don't see them as bitter rival competitors because I do think that a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, the much bigger picture,
your ship has to be floating to go up with the tide.
Your eyeballs have a limited amount of stuff they can look at every day.
Yeah.
So we do compete with the Super Bowl. We compete with that, romantic novel that is waiting on your Kindle.
Oh my!
We do.
Quivering.
We compete with your family. We compete with functionally every single thing that you do for you wanting to, hang with us on a Friday and do WAN Show instead of Boxing Day shopping or doing whatever else it is that you might want to be doing today, right?
Yeah.
And so if we are failing to meet target and failing to meet payroll, people, cutting their output by 10% sure as isn't going to fix it. Very unlikely. We could probably find some efficiency gains.
In this case as well, if this person doesn't have any ownership stake and just doesn't really care about the company they're at or whatever.
Then I get it.
Totally fair.
Yeah, get it. But
we're not trying to say it's necessarily unreasonable, but it's also not going to right the ship.
Nope, won't do that.
And these are uncomfortable conversations because there's no win, right? And much like the where's your line with piracy conversation that we had earlier, everyone's going to have a different line of what's okay here. That person's line was don't reduce my pay ever in any circumstance ever. I will go somewhere else or reduce my output, and that's fine. And someone else is going to have a different line. And if your team has a wild variety of different lines,
which they will,
this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a guarantee that they will. I think there are teams out there, usually smaller teams, but I think there are teams out there that are
That's the one.
that are somewhat in line with how they think and approach things.
All right, time to, speaking of teams, let's talk about the Floatplane team. We're going to do an early release of a very special LTT video, and we're going to do it right now. Okay, hold on. What's the special LTT video? Hold on, I'm trying to find the stupid CMS button. There it is. Excuse me. Okay.
What's happening?
I don't actually see it. I think it's supposed to be. Oh wow, there's a bunch of videos here that are
Control F for Kindle.
Oh hey, there it is. My son wanted a Kindle, so I made him test them all. This is it, folks. This is the future, potentially. It's up. It's posted.
Whoa. I'm excited to watch this. I'm very interested in what people think.
The very first video not just hosted, because he's been on camera before, but actually written by Linus Jr. And I gotta
Dude,
say,
the link in the doc was directly to the video. Why did you even look for it?
look, you're talking to the same guy that managed to accidentally filter Gmail addresses from his email. So,
Dell partner laptop. It's that kind of show.
yeah.
Did you leak anything by going through all those posts, by the way?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. That's cool.
I mean, they're just videos that are coming by. But yeah, so...
Yeah.
What? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should be fine.
I don't know what's coming down the pipeline. Maybe there's embargoed things. Maybe there isn't.
No, there's nothing embargo right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Nice. Good to know.
But yeah, dude. So cool. He told me he was, he's become more interested in the family business over time. And he told me he wanted to host a video because he had a lot of fun doing the I'll buy my son any gaming PC, or any gaming handheld for his birthday one. And that was, I think, his first time being on camera solo when he did like the interview portions of it. And he was interested in it. And I basically went, well, look, I'm not going to just like nepotism you. You don't just get to run this company. It doesn't work like that. The audience won't accept it. The team won't accept it. I won't accept it. It doesn't work like that.
But you'll nepotism a shot.
But I will give him a shot. Exactly.
Seems pretty reasonable to me.
And I basically said, okay, well, I'll tell you what then. No, you can't just host a video because that's the easiest possible layup that I could give you. We're not going to do that. But what you can do is if you'll write it, if you'll go through the process, and I got to give some credit to Mr. Nicholas Plouffe for being kind of a mentor for Randy during this period. You'll go through the process, and your assignment will be the least glamorous thing that I can possibly think of. You will make a video on the new Kindle. And it wasn't just...
If you make that work, it's a really good sign.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just that I was choosing like the most, boring thing that I possibly could. It was also something that I know that he has personal experience with. He reads a lot, and he reads physical books. He reads on his phone using the Kindle app, and he reads on a Kindle. And so I was like, okay, well, here's the new Colorsoft. Here's a current gen Paperwhite. Here's both of our old, we have an old Paperwhite and we have an old before it was Paperwhite, just like Kindle, the same one I did a video on like 10 years ago. I will lay out, I should find the doc because I basically lay it out, okay, what is good about it? What is bad about it? What do other people like? What do I like? What do other people not like? What do I not like? And I kind of laid out all the questions, kind of like a school assignment. And I kind of went, if you answer all of these questions, plus contribute any little insights that might spring into your mind as you go, I think you will have enough bones for a good video that, our talented writing team and I can help you get this over the line to a standard of quality that will be acceptable for LTT. And he did a really good job.
Nice.
Like really good.
I'm genuinely excited to watch it.
I'm going to spoil the best line in the video.
Don't do that.
No, I'm going to spoil it because I think because that's how previews work. That's how modern media works.
Fair
you
enough,
just tell people the best part.
Fair enough.
But I asked him this as I was reviewing the script. I went, "Is this your line or was this like something Plouffe added?" And he goes, "No, that was me." And I asked Plouffe too. I was like, "Was this you?" He's like, "No, I don't think so. I didn't actually change that much." And I went, "Oh, okay, interesting." And so in the conclusion, he's talking about how the Colorsoft is pretty expensive, and the colors aren't that vibrant. But on the other hand, going back to this, holding up the black and white one for comics and manga and like color media, feels like watching a fireworks display on a black and white TV. And I was like, that's really good.
What a reference.
That's a good line. Right, yeah, why would he even know color black and white TVs exist?
About black and white TVs?
And the fireworks display. The firework. Yeah, why
It's
fireworks?
a great line.
It's
but
a great
also,
line.
what the heck?
Right? Right?
Huh. And he doesn't seem like the type of person to just LLM it.
Oh, no.
So that's actually just his line. Weird.
Yeah.
Cool, but also strange.
That is such a succinct way.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not the most vibrant color, but going back to this is like, it's a generational gap in experience,
Man,
right?
I got writer dunked on by you, and now I'm going to get writer dunked on by your son. That's so annoying.
He's a smart kid. And yeah, anyway, he did a really great job. The hosting was pretty tough, but what's fun about the hosting was I realized very early on in the coaching that I was doing with him that, right, I've been meaning to do this because I'll do little host coaching clinics once in a while. We actually uploaded one of them that I did with Tap and Ryan Shrout back when they were here for the Intel Arc
Not an
launch.
internal one, but those guys. Yeah.
And people responded really positively to like Linus hosting tips.
Yeah.
And so we're doing. I asked our camera operator, I think it was Andrew. I asked him to roll the whole time, and then I gave it over to Sammy to do a Floatplane exclusive of me basically coaching my son on
That's cool.
how to host a video because he had no idea what he was doing.
Sammy said that extra will be up on Monday on Floatplane. That's cool.
Yep. And it's funny because I don't realize how many little things there are until I watch someone try to do it. And I'm just like, okay, hold on a second. Your emphasis words. You're picking the wrong emphasis words. Here's how you choose an emphasis word. And, it's obviously still his first time. But from the beginning of the video to the end of the video, there was like a marked change. So if you're looking to improve your on-camera presentation skills or even in-person presentation skills,
Maybe check out.
strongly recommend it. That's going to be an extra over on Floatplane.
Sick.
Sammy says on Monday,
That's cool.
which is pretty cool. Okay, while we're over on Floatplane, check out Luke Week 2,
Yeah.
where we had 3 exclusives centering around.
Took week.
I don't know.
What? Does it say that?
Yeah, that's what it says in there.
Okay, well, there's a Q&A video. There's a 36-minute Q&A video. There's a 1 hour long, effectively podcast with Riley where we talk about AI stuff.
Cool.
And then there is the gaming video titled "How a New Studio Made the Multiplayer Game of the Year."
Okay, cool. So you guys can check that out. Lots of Luke exclusives. And then what else we got? Oh, or maybe you want some more insights from this week's releases. You can check out our Closer Look series where Alfred, our film production manager, and Jordan go over the new short circuit with facts that didn't make the final cut and some cut footage from Mitchell's AMD upgrade. All this and our entire back catalog at lmg.gg/fpwan.
I know you didn't watch them too much because it's Christmas week, but you can get extras there for when you do watch them.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Heck yeah. Yeah, views have been pretty slow this week.
Yeah.
The last month we've actually been like
pretty good.
Solid. Like we're back, baby.
Yeah.
But it's so volatile now.
It's crazy. It's also crazy that I saw what was happening this week and was like, yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah.
Because that is not the reaction that would have happened before.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Maybe that's healthy. I don't necessarily think so, though.
I don't know, man. It's
because you can't tell how rocky the ship is anymore.
Yeah.
Which is not good. Man, YouTube, please.
Okay. Time to talk to you guys about some sponsors. The show's brought to you today by Squarespace. Whether you're looking to launch a Furby alteration business or you just want to build a professional looking portfolio to show off your latest hobby, you need a website. That's where Squarespace can help. It's an all-in-one website platform that'll get you up and running fast. They make the web page building process incredibly easy with a large library of templates and an intuitive drag and drop editor. And if you want your page to feel a little more you, their design intelligence tool lets you plug in a prompt, select a personality for your site, and you're basically done. We've even used Squarespace for our LinusMediaGroup.com website. Once your site is up, Squarespace helps you track your analytics so you can finally prove to your mom and dad that a Furby business could be quite lucrative. Start building your website today, and receive 10% off your first purchase at squarespace.com/WAN. The show is also brought to you by Vessi. If you were hoping for new outdoor gear this holiday season but didn't find any under the tree, don't fret. Stay tuned until the end of this sponsor spot because Vessi wants to step in and give back. Vessi are known for what they claim are 100% waterproof apparel items. And since winter weather wants to stick around well past December, it's a great time to check out their Stormburst lineup. They offer both comfort and traction for those wet, muddy nature walks. You can keep your hands just as dry now, too, as your feet with a pair of their Forecast gloves. Vessi wants to keep the holiday spirit alive, so here's the deal. Oh, this is cool. The first 5 people to use the code that's about to appear on the screen will once again get up to $250 off their purchase. Go, do it. VIP, everyone hates squelching socks, so save some moolah. Best of luck, everyone.
Whoa.
This is a really smart engagement move from Vessi, actually.
That's wild.
Yeah. Wait, what time do you need to go again?
Yeah, pretty soon.
All 4. Oh, sure. I'm supposed to do more sponsor spots. The show is brought to you by AMD. Uh-oh. AMD asks that we just briefly talk about the worst gifts you've received for Christmas. I mean, as a little boy, it was always clothes for me.
They were the worst?
Oh, I love getting socks.
Well, I didn't say socks. I didn't say socks.
Oh, okay.
Just
You're
like
a sock enjoyer too.
I don't know, just like random sweatpants and shirts, especially when it was nice clothes, because I never wore nice clothes. Like people would try to give me like Sunday best.
They try to change your
Christmas.
preferences based on gifts. That's not a fun one.
And then I'm just like, nope.
I feel like mine have always been pretty good.
I forget what it is.
My family's like pretty sick when it comes to presents. I suspect the worst thing I've ever received has been like a book I already had. Like I'm not a good target for this.
Yeah. I'd say like I probably notice it more like for my kids. Like we had a family function this year where a lot of care and attention went into certain individuals that were of the same relationship sort of tree to people that were not made for my kids. And I don't think my kids noticed, but I did.
That's cool that your kids didn't notice.
That's not very cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But I'd say that was more, it's not really like me at that point. No, I think the gifts that try to change you are probably the big one.
Sorry, Connor had a full play chat. Said I got a wrench and a tackle box one year. I was 9. Which, you know, for some 9-year-olds might have been sick. Might not have been in this case, I guess.
I remember creating a Christmas list that was basically 5 video games that I wanted, and then explicitly not receiving any video games from my parents who didn't like me playing video games, and I was like, right, but like it would have been less irritating if they weren't so proud of the great choice they made and wanted me to be really excited about it. When I was like,
got you a new petticoat.
Like, yeah, I really just
I want a Call of Duty.
What I really wanted was Warcraft 2.
Oh yeah.
I've definitely been. I think this is a fairly standard in my household, so I don't think I'm going off the wall here. But normally, Christmas lists are a highly respected, like, fallback almost.
Yeah.
Unless you say otherwise. If you're like, I really want this thing, then you'll probably just like get it. But Christmas list is usually like, oh, you didn't naturally, without really much effort, find anything. Therefore, you can come to this list.
Yeah.
So if you go off the list, it's like totally chill.
And off the list is fine as long as it isn't passive aggressively trying to change you.
Totally. It's a big part of that point. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've ever received one of those. Which is my whole thing, where like I think I'm a bad target for this.
Yeah. Mitchell, our customer service rep for LTTStore, got a sweet Christmas gift this year thanks to AMD. He got a sick Akatsuki? Sure. Inspired computer setup with a Ryzen 9800 X3D, as well as a new TV, which was actually for his parents, which is super nice, and some cool figurines. You can also give yourself a big gift to wrap up the year with AMD's latest giveaway. Use our link to enter for a chance to win a Sapphire Nitro Plus Radeon RX 9070 XT for yourself. And get this, a second one for your friend. That is so cool. The show is also brought to you by UGREEN. If it isn't on your desk and it's not in your pocket, do you know where your phone is? UGREEN's FineTrack Slim is a wallet and phone tracker that slides right into your wallet and is less than 2 millimeters thick. It works with Samsung's Find app, no need for any third-party software on your phone, and UGREEN says that charging the FineTrack for 1 hour will give you a whole year of use, and it ships charged. If you don't know where your phone is, simply double-press the button on the FineTrack, and you will find out if your phone fell in a couch crack. Actually had to dig Yvonne's phone out of a couch crack this Christmas.
Yeah.
Like deep. I found wet things.
Oh.
Yeah. It also uses Samsung's global network for long-range tracking, including notifications to your phone if you leave your wallet behind. And it keeps a 7-day history of your device's location. Grab your FineTrack Slim with our link below and add on a couple of UGREEN smart finders as well.
What does that mean?
It means that, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It means that my sister has a baby.
Oh,
it is what it is.
Okay.
But I definitely found, food that has been down there long enough to decompose a little, but not long enough to be mummified.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, which is what it is.
Yeah.
I've had babies too, and when I had babies, there were bits of food everywhere in my house too. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Soon.
All right. We already did this topic.
I understand we did almost none of the topics. But
yeah, how'd that happen? How does this always happen?
I'm effectively almost out of time.
How does it happen, Luke?
To be fair, I have seen 0 complaints. Sometimes it just do be how the show work.
Is anyone watching it, though? Does anyone like the WAN Show? Huh. We should just not have topics then.
Yeah, no one cares, I think.
Why don't we just not have topics?
I think we should
I can
have
tell you guys
topics.
to shut up and move on more if you want.
No.
No.
That's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Way to go, Dan. Okay.
Don't even suggest it.
I'm going to start. We didn't. You did.
I was... You know what I
got you. I got you. I tracked.
How about you shut up and move on?
How about you shut up and move on?
I can't have merge messages. There's so many merge messages.
Okay, what do we want to do?
Topics?
I guess. Well, no. Here. Okay. How about this? Dan, do you have any curated merch messages that are specifically for Luke?
I have one. If I remember.
Let's
correctly.
do that real quick, Styles.
Okay.
Okay.
I need to quickly.
While you do that, I'm going to talk about the North Korean infiltrator who was caught working in Amazon's IT department thanks to keystroke delay.
Oh, yeah.
Amazon says they caught a fake US-based IT hire after noticing unusual keystroke lag on the employee's work laptop, which suggested the person wasn't actually working from the United States. After investigating, the company concluded the worker was based in North Korea and attempting to funnel money back to the regime through remote work. According to Amazon's security chief, the delay tipped them off that the laptop was being remotely controlled from overseas. The company shut down the account after a few days and says it has blocked thousands of similar attempts in recent years, often involving North Korean workers applying through US-based contractors as proxies.
Yep.
The discussion question is, as remote work becomes more common, how should companies balance trust, privacy, and security when monitoring employees? What a great discussion question. Dan, go ahead and hit Luke with that merch message.
Sure. Hi, pirates.dll. Love the show. My co-founder is about to become a dad. Luke, how did you handle Linus becoming a father? What was the toughest part? And Linus, what about people pirating your content? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't actually know necessarily what the first part of that question means. Like, it's not what
I think they assumed that you were working together more closely, and then Linus became a dad, and you know.
I mean, I guess we didn't know each other that well. Like, he hadn't moved in yet. But me having a kid definitely impacted Luke more than most colleagues would. I mean,
yeah.
Randy crying at night
Dude,
literally
so loud.
literally kept Luke awake.
So loud.
Oh, he was a difficult baby.
He was
He's making it up to us now because he's a great teen.
loudspeaker, the food-powered loudspeaker.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. There's a certain amount of things where it's just like, was I going to stop working with him over that? No. Therefore, is there really much left to think about?
I don't know.
And I'm not trying to be, offensive to the person asking the question. I just, someone said, why would Luke be affected? I mean, I technically was, but like, was it a bad way? Like, this is something that Linus wanted. He still worked hard and a lot. I don't know. There's people around you will make decisions and do things in their lives that indirectly affect you to a certain degree, and you just have to not care for the most part. Like find the good, or decide if this thing that they have done is too far for you, and then just detach.
Luke with the controversial live and let live take over here.
Yeah, to be honest.
I can't believe how controversial that has become. But
I guess
live and let live is totally a thing, and the world could use a little bit more of it.
And his room shared a wall with mine, and he cried a lot and was really loud. I also got really cheap rent and great food for free.
Rent?
There was technically, wasn't there? Yeah, there was technically
was there rent. Oh, okay.
Technically, it didn't cover the food, let alone rent. It didn't make any sense. If I remember correctly, it was $200 a month, and I got free food every meal. Insane. And it was cooked by someone else. I didn't even have to cook it.
His salary also wasn't much at that time because we just did not have any money at that time.
Yeah.
So,
But I also strapped in knowing that.
No idea how much of that was legal. Not all of it. Definitely not all of it. I think we were paying monthly at that time too.
I think so.
Instead of biweekly.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
again, another thing where it's just like, I can make a big deal out of this, or I cannot, which is an option.
I don't know.
It is possible. So it affected me. I got slightly worse sleep. But I mean, that's a constant throughout my entire life.
But he still got his decent computer on a regular cadence.
I did.
So
I did. Computer was good.
So that deal is still, it's still alive.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of deal still being alive and the deal maybe changing, this is probably the last major topic that Luke needs to be here for. But, right. How does Linus react to people pirating? I think I remember the first time there was a torrent of Scrapyard Wars, being pretty amused. Also,
there was some really annoying stuff at the beginning of Flowplane.
Yes, there was some
We're trying to start a new, incredibly small startup company thing, and there was multiple attempts to just rip the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. It's very frustrating.
So, I think it was a combination of feeling like we've made it because we're important enough for people to pirate, but also being like, we're not like a giant media conglomerate.
It's really hard to pay developers and stuff. It'd be really sick if you guys just didn't do this.
Yeah. So both.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is it. This is the last WAN show in its current form.
Oh, really? I have to leave now.
I thought you had to go in 20 minutes.
No, 5.
Oh. Awkward.
Really?
Sorry, I thought
I said the week after next week. I meant next week from now.
Oh, we'll talk about it next week.
Talk about it next year?
Me? You just baited that?
No, we'll talk about it next week. Browser extensions.
Oh my god.
Findboom.
Oh my god.
Browser extensions.
Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
Browser extensions.
We will miss you guys.
No, Dan, stop! Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine.
It's been a good run.
Browser extensions are selling your conversations with AI chatbots for advertising purposes. Several popular browser extensions with more than 8 million total users have been caught collecting and selling full AI chat conversations, according to security researchers at Koi. The biggest offenders include Urban VPN Proxy, One-Click VPN Proxy, Urban Browser Guard, and Urban Ad Blocker, available on both the Chrome Web Store and Microsoft Edge add-ons. Together, these extensions intercept conversations with chatbots even when VPN or ad blocking features are disabled. Despite advertising privacy and AI protections, the extensions inject scripts that copy entire conversations and send them to servers that are tied to the developers, where the data is used for marketing analytics. The only way to stop the collection is to disable or uninstall the extensions entirely. Several of them were even marked as featured by Google and Microsoft, raising questions about extension store oversight. Wow, that's pretty rough.
Did you do it on purpose?
No, I thought we had like 20 minutes.
I asked you for a hard out and you said soon.
Yeah.
That means like 8 to 12 months working here.
I'm currently messaging to make sure, but like the original hard out was 11:45, which is in 3 minutes now.
I'm
Google,
so sorry.
Google has closed compatibility for the Sega Dreamcast's 25-year-old web browser, killing it. 4 people cried out in terror and then were silenced.
What I can't figure out is how they killed it. What did they do? What changed? I've looked up like a couple different articles on this. I haven't done enough research, but like, what did Google do to cause this to happen? Big G's services no longer respond, but that doesn't mean that they killed the web browser.
I mean, probably kills it a little.
A little.
Yeah, probably killed it a little. There are still apparently fan-supported search engines and game servers that do work on the Dreamcast, which is pretty crazy. Our discussion question here is, do you think it's important for modern web companies to maintain compatibility with like quarter-century-old devices? What is an appropriate length of support? I mean, we've talked about this, right? Like, I don't think that either Luke or I is in the camp that whether it's a game developer or whether it's a service provider, that you're obligated to support stuff forever. That doesn't have an ongoing forever payment. The part that we disagree about with the current way that the industry does things is that we think there should be a path to users maintaining it themselves if it's so important to them. And this mostly applies, I think, to like game servers, for instance. If there's a way for it to go self-hosted or to hand over the code to the community to continue to run it, then we're totally fine with them saying, hey, yeah, this is not financially viable anymore because business has got to survive. What?
What?
Oh, nothing. You looked like you were making a face. So yeah, downer, but also I totally get it. I don't think that I would fire up a Dreamcast tomorrow with the expectation that the web features would work. I think what?
Hello, is the expected time still the same? Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Is chat asking you to try to push it or what?
No, I was trying to figure it out because sometimes schedule things move and whatnot. But,
yes.
But and they weren't responding to messages.
Yes.
I sent them quite a few.
Yes.
Probably driving or something.
Brilliant.
Probably very reasonable.
Yeah, makes sense.
But not responding anyways. So I called, and now I know that I do have to leave.
Cool. Good. That's probably where I got noon from. It's probably your arrival time, not your departure time.
That's probably true.
So, whoops.
I might have even just said noon at one point because that might have been what it was at one
Fun
point.
fact. There was also an arrival versus departure time screw up on Friday. And I missed my flight. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I went down to Cabo for Christmas. I decided, I shouldn't say Yvonne and I decided to do something absolutely crazy this year. And we treated my siblings and SOs and kids and her sibling and SO and kids to 4 days in Mexico for Christmas. So it was a pretty incredible experience, a lot of fun. As siblings, we've all been like busy, and it's easy to take family for granted. But I think that losing my sister really sharpened my focus on the speed with which things that you assume that you've had your whole life and you assume will always be there can be stripped out of your life. And so we kind of surprised everyone and we went, hey, guess what? We're we're doing it. Let's do it. We're doing something crazy, and it was a lot of fun. We did an all inclusive just because when you've got like
Dude, it's so much easier.
over a dozen people,
Oh my God.
coordinating every stupid meal, especially with young kids. There's a lot of young kids, so like, no.
But if they can just run over and grab some food when they want it or whatever, like, cool.
Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
We did go off resort once. You got to go.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of family and
do you want to just call me to do the thing
do what thing?
at the end?
Oh yeah, of course.
Sure. Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool. See you later.
Okay, see ya.
Anyway, yeah, we went down. We did one cool excursion that was. Oh no, just leave the thing. No, I don't like it just framed on me. I sent a note to one of the editors. One of our videos recently just had like too much zooming in on me. I'm pushing 40, dude. We don't need to be zoomed that close in on me anymore. This is a good framing. I need to take more Polaroid pictures, you know?
Hold on.
Well,
I can fix it.
okay, Dan's doing something here. Shoot, I don't have the pictures on... Thank you for that, Dan. That's incredibly helpful. I don't have the pictures on this phone. I took along a separate phone for pictures and videos and stuff because we're actually going to be uploading a family vlog from it. And we did this like turtle release thing here. Why don't you just be my co-host now? We'll just drag you over there. Oh yeah, you're good. But you can just move the window over there. So yeah, we did this. There's a turtle conservation group that allows you to go and without disturbing anything, like you're not allowed to touch the baby turtles and you're not allowed to interfere with them imprinting on the beach where they were born because they have to come back in order to. Okay, that's an option too. Sure. Anyway. So it's like a conservation thing, but you can do like a turtle release into the ocean thing. So you hold a like born that day turtle in a bowl, so you don't touch it, so you don't hurt it, and you don't get any bacteria on your hands. And then you like tip the bowl, and you watch them like crawl into the waves. And they were saying that thanks to the work that they're doing, the survival rate goes from they estimate about 1 in 1,000 reach adulthood in the wild to they say about 6 to 7 in 1,000 because they'll go out of their way to release them at times when there's not a lot of seagulls, and they kind of oversee it, so they're less likely to get picked off on the way to the beach from the nest, which is pretty cool. Did I just do it again? Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, that literally came up during the presentation before we did the release thing, now that I think about it, was some little kid who you are now on par with in terms of your joke quality, was like 6, 7, and everyone kind of went, because it's over now. It's 6, 7 party is officially completely over. Has been for 6, 7 weeks at this point. LG is responding swiftly to user backlash, will allow users to remove the Microsoft Copilot link from their TVs. There's a whole topic that was written on this, but I think that's probably all we need to say. Basically, it's not a built-in TV app. It is just a shortcut to Microsoft's Copilot web app that opens in the TV's browser. And sorry about that. Also, the microphone input was only able to activate with explicit user consent. We're not sure when you'll be able to delete it, but it will be able to be deleted. So that's good. Thank you, LG, for responding to the outrage in a way that is acceptable. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, I know you can only hide at Shraft 2K, but they're changing that. That's why we're bringing it up. Okay, yeah, this is something... You know what? Let's push the reboot rewind update to next week. We can do that.
Sure.
Okay, next week.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting a lot of merch messages today.
Yeah, I know, Dan.
Screwdrivers are very, very popular for some reason.
Well, people really like...
They've been so excited for them.
People like screwing. It's how the whole human race survived all these millennia.
That's true.
They're kind of,
I've certainly read about that.
Yep. Read the articles about it, right?
In The Economist.
Why don't we just do merch messages? You know what? No, let's go through this last one.
Okay, sure.
China's Tencent gains access to the banned NVIDIA Blackwell B200 chips by leveraging a rental loophole in U.S. export controls. Tencent is apparently accessing NVIDIA's most advanced AI chips by renting computing power overseas rather than buying the hardware directly, according to a Financial Times report. The chips are housed in data centers in Japan and Australia and owned by a Japanese company called DataSection, which rents the GPUs to customers through long-term contracts. This arrangement allows Tencent to legally sidestep U.S. export restrictions that block NVIDIA's top chips from being sold into China. DataSection has signed more than $1.2 million in contracts tied largely to Tencent and now controls around 15,000 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs, rapidly turning the company into one of Asia's largest so-called neo-cloud providers. DataSection says demand is so high that even regulatory changes wouldn't hurt much. As its CEO put it, access to high-end GPU capacity is a very sexy asset. Oh man, yeah, our discussion question is, should companies be allowed to legally work around export controls by renting computing power overseas, or do you feel this undermines the purpose of those restrictions? I mean, obviously it undermines the purpose of the restrictions, but it just is the latest of many, many, many examples of times when legislation just doesn't move as fast as technological innovation. And in some cases, I end up being really glad that it doesn't, but in other cases, it's obvious that it is interfering with the abilities of governments to manage their resources. And I don't know sort of if I'm rooting for them to be able to do that better. So a lot of the time, I really do think that it has been a benefit to the consumers. But in other cases where the innovation is not a benefit to consumers, or I shouldn't say AI is not a benefit to consumers, but where it is largely impacting consumers in a negative fashion with all the data harvesting and the, encouragement to, off themselves of users and the romantic entanglements and all the things that have not been properly studied about this AI rollout, I do feel like legislation would move a little bit faster. Is there a reason that Luke's photo is in black and white and everyone is saying rip Luke in the chat?
Floatplane is asking for it. I don't know.
You do know that they are not your boss.
Yeah, but they do funny things sometimes.
I mean, they do definitely do funny things. Okay, I have to pay respects. Floatplane chat. He's not dead. He's at Christmas Day. Okay. Cool. Good chat.
I mean, it's true. We love Luke.
We do love Luke.
Stop, you're going to make me think the stream's gone down.
Why don't we do some merge messages?
Sure, we'll go into WAN after dark.
Let's do that.
Although it just feels like WAN dark now. Let's see. There's the button.
Holy crap, there's still a ton of incoming merch messages.
Yes, it's been quite heavy today. All right, let's see what we've got here. Did we do this one? Yes, we did. Hey, DLL, I asked this last year, so I'll ask again now. What 2026 releases are you most looking forward to?
Oh, man, if you'd asked me this like a month and a half ago, right? Like I might have said, a month and a half ago, I'd have probably said Steam Frame. Because I'm just like, I'm a VR nerd. I'm really looking forward to not having a tether. I think it's going to legitimately make me use it more. Like if I could just bring a dongle with me and play lighter VR games on like my Strix Halo laptop, man, how cool is that? Like I can, like no lighthouses to set up. I don't know, man. It's flipping cool. But I'm deeply worried about what pricing is going to be like for the Steam machine, for the Steam Frame, for basically anything that is going to be coming out in 2026. Unless the bubble crashes. I think that video that we did, where David and I sort of reverse engineered what the pricing will be of the Steam machine, I think it's out. I think there's no way we got it right, because we kind of assumed that the market had already priced in the lack of availability that was upcoming, but it looks like that is not the case, and things are going to continue to get worse. We also haven't accounted for the potential price increases on GPUs. Like, I didn't think it was going to be so bad that we weren't going to be able to get enough GDDR. Oh, speaking of which, we haven't done our weekly B580 check. Guys, seriously, GPUs are going to go up. If you can still get oh my God, you can still get it. If you need a GPU, like a decent GPU right now, go for it. I forget what our Newegg affiliate link is. Dan, can you throw it in the chat? Oh,
people also don't know.
No, Floatplane's already posting it.
Oh, they're so good.
It's lmg.gg/Newegg. Guys, if you need a GPU, you will thank me that you picked up a B580 before pricing went stupid, because even though Intel is rumored to be announcing the B770 like at CES or sometime very soon, what I suspect is that they will build in the RAM shortage pricing to that new one, and they may even make adjustments to the B570 and the B580. I don't know any of this for sure, which is why I'm able to speculate on it without, breaching any kind of non-disclosure agreement. But I strongly suspect that if you don't pick up this Onyx Lumi Arc B580 with 12 gigs of GDDR6 for $239.99 now, with the Intel Holiday Bundle, which is, I remind you, Battlefield 6. Pick one of Battlefield 6, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dying Light the Beast, or Sid Meier's Civilization 7. You get this card with this amount of RAM for $240 and you get a full price AAA game. You will not be finding a better deal. I'm going to say it, next year. I really don't think so. It's possible, but I really sincerely doubt it. So now's a really good time to pick up one of these and get a decent GPU for a decent price. I mean, what even is 12 gigs of RAM worth right now? Okay, so let's go with like a somewhat equivalent, what's 16 gigs of DDR5? So around $200 right now for 16 gigs of RAM. So you're getting 12 gigs of RAM, which let's call $150, right? You're getting Battlefield, which is, let's call $50. So $200, you're basically paying $40 for an Arc B580 GPU. Okay? Crazy. There's no way that Intel can be making money on that die and those VRMs and that cooler at that point. Like, I just do it. Someone says that was 2x16. Yes, and I did a really amazing thing where I took the price and I cut it in half to represent 16 gigs of RAM to be $200-ish. It was cool.
You did math on purpose?
I know, right?
Hi, Binus Book and Ban. I'm working on ownership of an Amazon DSP and need advice on balancing employee care with managing razor-thin margins in the early stages of the company. Hello from Vegas.
Oh, it's hard, man. I don't think we've ever found the right balance. And I think even if we found the right balance, there would be people who don't agree. We're finally doing it. We're finally working on how does LMG spend money, which people have asked for every single time we've done how does LMG make money. And what I can tell you is that when we get down into the details of, like how much of it goes to taxes, how much of it goes to, net profit for reinvestment for next year, for shareholder dividends. When we get into these details, I guarantee you that even though we are well under what many of the companies you don't hate take for profit, there will be people who are mad about it. There's going to be people that, say, well, you should have done more. There's people that would look at your question of, how do I balance employee care with managing razor thin margins and say, well, you're the owner, it should be 100% employee care. And then there's going to be other people that you ask on the more business monster side that are going to say, none of that matters, outsource to cheaper labor and get your margins up right away. Or I don't know, right? Like it's just like the conversation we had earlier where people are not going to agree on this. Everyone's going to have a completely different line. Oh, wait, sorry. There was one thing I was going to say. I was going to say that an important part of it, though, is communication with your team. Laying out very clearly, what the reward is and what it can be, and then following through on that if you're asking people to make any kind of personal sacrifice. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Sure thing. For Linus, do you feel like you will ever find a phone that you will be happy with? It seems like with each phone you find nitpicks or issues. Do you think having so many opportunities to upgrade affects, I assume, this?
No, if anything. I mean, I think I probably upgrade my phone less than almost any other electronics YouTuber who covers phones. I try not to. I really don't like it. I mean, I used the Note 9 for like 4 years or something like that, or 3 years. Will I find one that I'm happy with? I mean, as long as designs continue to enshify, no, I don't think so, because a lot of the direction of the mobile phone industry just runs counter to what I like and want out of my devices. I'm pretty happy with this one, but I'm not going to lie and say that it didn't immediately stop folding completely flat, like literally the second day I had it. Unless I, give it the old, overfold. Why? Why is that? Why is that acceptable? Why is that normal? I'm trying to think what else. Some of the stuff that I encountered on the iPhone was just it's just baffling to me that it's not fixed. Oh man, there's a video coming soon. I actually was dailying an iPhone Air and then an iPhone 17, and then I dabbled with the iPhone 17 Pro Max over the last almost 2 months, I think. This is the longest I've been iPhone in a while. And there were some things that were really good. And then there were also things that were just infuriating. Nitpicks and issues. I think if anything, it comes down to that it's my job to find things that are really good and find things that are not as good. And I also tend to be a pretty busy person. So I think I have a higher sensitivity to unnecessary interactions and unintuitive design than most people would, because it's my job to get intimately familiar with a device really, really quickly, and especially when it doesn't follow that same company's established rules for interaction. It just kind of drives me nuts, because I do understand that a lot of products these days are just sort of designed by committee, and there's these huge teams that oftentimes will barely even talk to each other. But that doesn't mean that it will stop driving me crazy that you could have a flagship Android phone that for years didn't support a feature on YouTube, which is owned by Google, which, Android is also, managed by Google. In this case, it was YouTube Stories that just simply wasn't supported on it. It's guys, this is a software switch that you can just flip. Just enable Stories on tablets, or stop classifying this phone as a tablet. Do one of those two things and let the feature run free. Why are you even maintaining two different versions of the app? I do not have the Pebble on right now. I'm actually finally doing it. It's either going to be short circuit or it's going to be LTT, but I'm trying a Garmin smartwatch. So Pebble, I shot the short circuit last week, and then Bell's been chasing me to do this Garmin one for quite a while.
Hey, Dan and the other two. My question is how to reignite the passion for games. It's hard to find the childlike wonder again. I wonder if you have any tips to break the monotony. Hi from Kamloops.
Like so many things, it's all about people. It's all about relationships. We're super complicated, but we're also kind of simple, right? Like, we love novelty. So if your hope was that you're going to recreate that experience that you'd never had before again, it's not going to work like that. So if what you loved about games was novelty, that's going to be tougher to recreate, but there's other levers you can pull. There's nostalgia. I had an absolute blast. I put dozens and dozens of hours into this roguelite hockey game called Tape to Tape. I haven't been playing it as much lately. I should probably check in and see how it's going. The developer's super cool. Canadian. It's their first game. Seemed really passionate. And it reminded me of playing like NHLPA 93, but, fun and modern and with kind of a new twist on it. So, nostalgia can be a really good one. Another great example of that is how many incredible, pixel art, like 16-bit pixel art games there are that sort of emulate the style of classics like Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger. A couple that sort of stood out to me, Sea of Stars, seems like they were a really passionate team. I quite enjoyed the game. I didn't think it was quite as good as people kind of made it out to be. It was a little shallow in terms of the gameplay, and I won't say much about the story, but I will say that there were just aspects of it that, whatever. But the music is incredible. The art is beautiful. It was absolutely worth a playthrough if you enjoy that art style, if you enjoy that era of gaming. Another really good one. This one I cannot recommend enough. What a beautiful game. So incredibly well written, crosscode. Radical Fish, I think, is coming out with their next game like soon-ish. But in the meantime, you should definitely pick this up. It is just an outstanding game. And then what's the last one that I really, really enjoyed? 16-bit pixel games. Oh man. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was another really good one that I played a little while ago where the writing got kind of silly after a bit. But in like an anime way that a lot of people will probably like. I can't remember. Well, I'll have to get that for you guys another time, but it's like turn-based combat, world exploration. No one's said it yet. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So nostalgia can be a really good way to kind of reignite the passion, finding something that is both new and has reminders of old. Another really big one would be just people. A huge part of what I enjoyed so much about playing Tape to Tape was socializing. So using it as a way to connect with people, whether they're part of your life now or whether they're people that used to be part of your life. I'd say that gaming, Chained Echoes, that's the one. Thanks, Crater. Chained Echoes, also really cool. Definitely enjoyed the combat of Chained Echoes a little bit more than Sea of Stars. I played them both like back to back around the same time. Chained Echoes is super cool. How is this so cheap? Chained Echoes is $10 right now.
Winter sale.
Heck yeah.
Steam being mean to everyone's wallets.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Yeah, it's really good. Anyway,
couple more.
Yeah, connecting with people. That'll probably help get you back into it. Playing games with my kids is lots of fun. Although now that my son is so much better than me, and my girls still aren't good enough to like compete. It's hard to play like competitive games with them, but it's still great to just enjoy, stories. Also with the wife, we played Unravel 2 recently, and we played It Takes Two a little while back. People.
Happy holidays, tech gents. Love the new screwdrivers. Great for gifting. What is one of your tech pet peeves? Workers smashing their mobile pay kiosks into my phone for tap to pay is mine. Cheers.
Oh man, a tech pet peeve. I'd say the biggest one for me in my daily life has got to be password autofill that just like doesn't work. That doesn't detect the right app or the right website. Like it feels like it works every time, 75% of the time. And when it works, dude, password autofill and passkeys. Oh man, passkeys. I was talking about this before the show. Passkeys are such a failed promise, man. Like in theory, they were supposed to make it so that I didn't have to do like passwords and two-factor, because the whole thing was supposed to be just like this thing that is on me that I have already authenticated, I'm using, and this is my one factor, my thing I have, and then the thing that I am is supposed to be the biometric authentication. That was supposed to be it, and I'm supposed to just automatically log into everything. In practice, I went to log into something that used a passkey before the show started, and what is it? So I had to enter my password that I've memorized, because it is my like single sign-on one. So I had to enter my password, and then in order to authenticate that, I had to unlock my phone. So I had to click scan QR code. I'm going to do it that way. Then I had to unlock my phone. Then I had to click it. Then I had to say what I was logging into. Then I had to biometrically authenticate again. Then I had to click yes. And then it was like 7 steps later. I might as well have just typed an 8-character password at that point. It's ridiculous. So I'd say that's definitely one of mine.
And the last one I have today, question for Linus from a fellow motorcyclist. Have you ridden the Suzuki GSX 8S, spiritual successor to your SV650? Love seeing a live WAN show. Merry Christmas from Scotland.
Hey, thanks. Merry Christmas to you too, Scotland. No, I haven't. This thing looks sick, though. Like, damn. This thing looks awesome. Matte black. Look at that.
Dang. There's so many cool bikes. I wish I was allowed to get a motorcycle. My mommy says no.
Yeah. Wow. This looks awesome. No, this had completely flown under my radar. Is it, oh, here we go. Okay. Is it a V-twin or is it an inline? Does anyone know? Anyone? Bueller? Well, I'll wait for someone to respond in chat, but no, that thing looks sick. I haven't been on my SV, and we're coming up on like 3 years, but the paint job is done. But there's really bad news about the paint job. I don't think that my base color layer adhered properly to my primer layer on some of the parts, and I think it's basically just gonna like crack off after a season or two, which is deeply disheartening. I tried to learn the air sprayer, and I tried to learn all the coatings, and I tried to have the right conditions and everything, but I think I just got caught one day when maybe I didn't get the temperature right, or maybe I didn't get the mix right, and it just didn't adhere. So some of the parts are fine, to the point where they're like so hard to strip that I like destroyed a part once trying to strip paint off of it and redo it because I screwed up the effect layer. And then others are just like, oh my God, these are just gonna flake off. So I think I'm probably only gonna get a couple of seasons out of it. It was a fun learning experience. And then I think next time around, I've actually got a buddy who is into badminton and also runs a paint shop. And I'm just gonna be like, hey, Danny, this time, can I just come into your shop and do like a couple-hour session with you and maybe use your shop, and maybe here's a few bucks or some free time at Smash Champs or something, and let's work out a tit for tat, and I'll just, do something else. Let Danny do it. No, that's no fun. Yeah. That's boring. That's boring. I want to ride around on a bike that I painted. So maybe next time around it'll be a GSX 8S. What do these cost anyway? Oh, I never checked chat. Is it a V-twin or is it an inline?
Somebody in Twitch chat said parallel twin. I don't know if they're lying to you.
MSRP starting from question mark. What the devil does that mean? Prices of products on the site or manufacturers suggested blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it.
You might have to build one out.
But you didn't give me one. Oh, okay, hold on. Location, British Columbia. Dude, man, bikes are, oh man.
The hell? That's like new?
Yeah, $11,000 to be clear is a lot of money.
I guess you only get 2 wheels.
But that's Canadian dollars. So this is like eight grand or something like that. And like, man, compared to 4-wheel vehicles, you can buy so much fun on a bike compared to a 4-wheel vehicle for the price. Like, good Lord. Dude. Oh wow, that's a big engine. I didn't clue in that the 8 was 800 cc's. Whoo!
That's 200 more than a cappuccino.
776 cc's. I don't know, guys. Do you really want me to be like the game dev guy who died recently? Because 650 was already freaking a lot for me. Man, it's got ride-by-wire, ABS, low RPM assist. Interesting. For smoother and easier starts. Okay, that I don't know if I need as much, but sure. Damn, this thing looks so cool. All right, I'm gonna not buy it though. Maybe. This thing looks sick. Okay. Is that it?
That's all I got for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, hey, one last shout out, guys. Now is a great time to head over to LTTStore, our prismagic screwdrivers, for a very limited time, only until December 30th. Don't wait around. Very limited time, are 20% off thanks to our partnership with YouTube Shopping. So all you got to do is go watch the video, which I'm going to publish right now. So right now, I think it's unlisted.
I've got it open. If you want to do it, you can.
Go ahead. Punch it, Dan. So this video is going to go live right now. Go watch it. It's a really fun video. It's every LTTStore product that I couldn't release for some reason or another.
It should be live if you want to give it an F5. Hopefully I didn't set the wrong one live.
So we sat down with the engineering team.
There you go.
Oh my God.
9 seconds ago.
That's 1 second. There we go. So we sat down with both the engineering team to talk about some of the really wild products that never saw the light of day, as well as with the fashion team to talk about some of the really cool products that never saw the light of day and the various reasons that they didn't. I don't want to spoil too much, but the reason that we never made this wallet, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I can't find it, but there's a wallet that we never made, and here they are. And the way we got access to these original prototypes will absolutely blow your mind. Shoot, I missed it. The idea behind them, though, was that they looked like folders. Anyway, go check it out. And I think that's it for the WAN Show. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. What the hell's the speaker on this thing?
Hello?
What? That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Bye!
There.
All right, see you later.